right. What is good, everyone? What's good, everyone? Justin here with the 3.
I beat Yakuza 0 and I'm now playing Yakuza Kiwami with a little FF7 on the side.
Yes, sir.
Also shocker that people jumped the gun again on Switch 2 sales.
Jump the gun again. Now they are in a state. Certain people, certain content creators, as I've gotten an update here, are in a state of delusion. They're in a state of delusion on the industry, on the sales, on everything. That is what these liars, these grifters, these frauds, and I don't like using the name calling, guys, but that's really what it is. They're a bunch of liars. They grift for YouTube views, they grift for money, and they are mentally unstable. That is what's happening right now. How many damage control videos are people going to make? How many damage control videos are you going to make? How many times are you going to deny what is right in front of your face? Why do we have to? It does not have to be this way. It does not have to be this way. And I know people are saying Nintendo, dude, Nintendo is a fraud. We all know this. He's too scared. So stop bringing his ass up. Stop bringing his name up. We don't got to bring up his name. We all know who everyone's talking about. He is a fraud. He is a fraud. He does not want to discuss and debate sales numbers with somebody else that opposes his view. He is a liar. He is a fraud. He will always be a fraud. Why do you guys keep bringing him up? You guys know how he does. He just stays to his channel and he won't talk to any other Nintendo content creator or anybody else when it comes to sales. He's such a scaredy cat. He's so scared because it's his shtick on his channel to grift for views. We already know this. They're a bunch of liars. They're liars. They have to lie. They have to manipulate. They have to exaggerate in order to make money on YouTube. We already know this. Y'all gotta stop bringing them up. I'm just simply saying in general. Y'all gotta stop bringing this up. We know what the deal is. We know what's going on. We know. We know what the deal is, boys and girls. But yes, they lied. We have a big Switch 2 sales update. We got video game sales updates, positional charts, but you know, US big country, right? We've got Switch 2 sales update. We've got a lot of stuff to discuss and to talk about when it comes to the platform, when it comes to the future. We've got the Xbox, Nintendo Direct, the Xbox Developer Direct, but it's pretty much a multi-platform Direct. Well, except for Nintendo Switch 2, but I'm pretty sure a lot of those games will make their way to the Switch 2 at some point. But we got a lot of different stuff to talk about here, guys. But like I said, shout outs to Justin. Thank you for the big 3. You're now the Hokage and Stream Ninja. So that's really what it comes down to, guys. Don't give this dude any views. Don't give these frauds. See, look, don't give them views, guys. Y'all gotta be vigilant. Don't give them views. Don't give them money. Don't give them clout. Don't do it. You know why I say that? Because I think that's the only fraud who actually put up a video. Nobody else did so far because they can't grift off the money. I don't know. I know OmniArch. I don't think he put up anything. He might have, but I don't think he did. So a lot of the grifters and a lot of the frauds and the you know, the people that take advantage of us, or not me, but of people on YouTube's, like I said, schizo PlayStation fans and trolls, they don't want to face the reality. Here's the reality. Here's, like, we're gonna go through it one by one. All right. Here's the number one reality. The number one reality is there is a situation with the economy. That is the number one reality out of all of this. Let's just flat out. Shout outs to Zoo. He talked about it. PlayStation 5 sales were down year on year, if I'm not correct, in November and in December. And if I'm not correct with November, it even had a discount, $100 off discount, and they were still down year on year.
I just picked up FF7 Remake to kick off my birthday.
Yo, shout outs.
Excited to dive into it and enjoy the day.
Yo,
Hope you're having a great day.
Happy birthday, Dane. Thank you for the $4 dono. You are now the new Hokage. Omni did? Okay. Did he make what was his video? Was it a clickbait AI slop, or was it actually being truthful with the numbers and with the sales? Was it slop? Which one was it? Justin with the 3. No, nothing yet for Forza or Fable.
Also, how many good Switch 2 ports have to come out for people to realize it's not a potato? Lol.
People are just stupid. Some people are just dumb and have no idea about game development, Justin. So they're just gonna say whatever they feel like. At the end of the day, so you just can't fix stupid, you know. Some people are just dumb. They're actually legitimately just dumb, and you can't fix them. Shout outs to Justin with another 3. Appreciate that. So that's the thing, man. Like, it's the reality. It's the facts. And a lot of these guys are in denial. This is, like I said, this is the last stand, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last stand for these people. After this year, after Mario and Pokemon comes out, they can't do this anymore. So they're getting it all in when they can before they move over to video game sales grift. So they're just going to move the video game sales grift after their console sales grift ends. They're just going to do that. That's what's going to happen. Pretty much that's what's going to happen, man. So yeah, man. That's just really what it comes down to. Shout outs to Joe as well with the 20. Joe 9K with the big $20. Yo, let's go. Is that a 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30? Yo, we at the 30-minute extension already. Yo, let's go. So the advances the real fastest selling, saying it's a downside slope. So the advance is the real fastest selling, fastest selling ever. Saying it's a downside slope. The Game Boy Advance sold 80 million units in about 4 years or so, and the Game Boy Advance never even got a chance to really spread its wings for a long amount of time. The Switch 2 is probably going to sell more than the Game Boy Advance because the Switch 2 is going to be on the market way longer than the Game Boy Advance. Like, for example, if you look at the Game Boy Advance, you look at the Nintendo 3DS, they're actually pretty close in sales, not too far away from sales, but 3DS was on the market way longer than the Game Boy Advance. So the Switch 2 is going to do better than the 3DS. And it's going to be on the market probably as long, or just about as long. But it's going to do better. It's selling way better than the 3DS. So that's right there. When you talk about, the Game Boy Advance, there's no point in bringing up that system because we all know what happened. That system got cut off early because the DS came out. So it doesn't even make sense. We all know it's going to sell more than 80 million. I mean, it's already sold it's going to hit 20 million. So it's going to hit 20% of the Game Boy Advance sales already before the first year, or right around the first year. It's going to hit 20 million. So, 25% of the sales within the first year. And it's going to be on the market for way more than 4-5 years or so. So that doesn't even matter. And this is the reason why, like I said, once again, this is the reason why people who do this, they don't want to debate. They don't want their points being made silly in front of other people. Because bringing up the game, that's the real fast. Bro, we all know good and well the Switch 2 is going to sell more than the Game Boy Advance. We all know this because the Game Boy Advance was barely on the market for that long. Now, if Nintendo decided to keep going with the Game Boy Advance, then I get that. Then it's like, okay, whatever. But when it comes down to it, they do separate handhelds and they do separate consoles. They separate the two. So yeah, like they just separate them for some reason. So they put Switch 2 in the category of console. They put it in the category of console overall. But yeah, Game Boy Advance I think also was $99. As well. I think it was also $99 as well, which helps out, of course, But yeah, we'll see. Like I said, we've got Pokemon coming out later this year. We've got Gen 10 Pokemon coming out later this year, and we've got a lot of other games coming out. So yeah, I don't know how long that's gonna last, to be honest. Let's see here. Matt, and also think about that for a second. Game Boy Advance is the real fastest selling. Think about that for a second. Well, what systems sold better than the Game Boy Advance? The Wii? The DS? The Switch one? So that doesn't matter. You know, that doesn't really matter at the end of the day. The good news about the Switch 2 is that it's selling good. That's really all that matters. Fastest selling, great, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the big point is that it's selling good. That it's selling good enough. That it's selling great. It's selling really good. So that's the whole point. Trying to parse it out and say, oh, well, the Game Boy Advance, or like trying to just, guys, listen, the Switch 2 is selling well. It's undisputable. It's undeniable fact. And when I say that people lied, what's up, party man? How you doing today? When I say that people lied, here's what I mean. So I got into an interesting conversation of back and forth with Christopher Drink. He's the one where a lot of these guys were sourcing their freaking information from, what he said. And that's fine. People say, oh, well, he was correct. Here's the problem with what he said. He said he knew all the sales data. Christopher Drink said that he knew all the sales data for December, and he purposefully omitted the PlayStation 5 being down 30% year on year and the Switch 2 outselling it for December. He omitted the information to make a Switch 2 clickbait article. I shit you not, guys. It's either that or he didn't know the numbers. It's one of the two. He's either a fraud or he lied by omission. There are only two options here. He said he had access to all the data. And when I pressed him on, dude, well, why didn't you release all the information? Why would you only focus on Nintendo? He released zero. He's an industry sales analyst. He released zero articles, zero information on PlayStation 5 US MPD sales being down year on year, despite the big discount that it got. He said nothing. He made no articles. He made no top, not that I can see. I don't think he did. So he ignored it to hone in on Switch, to make it look worse. So people had the impression that the Switch 2 was not doing well because oh, look at these numbers. It's compared to Switch 1. It's down on this. He left out that the PS5 was down 30% year on year. He left out that the Switch 2 outsold every single other system. He intentionally left it out. That is lying by omission. You cannot do that. You are gonna get blowback. Let me tell you guys something. If the PS6 comes out in the next couple of years, and let's just say I got the data early, and then I made a topic, like a video, saying PS6 sales stumble over the holiday, over Christmas, and the PS6 still outsells everything on the market on top of it being the fastest selling system of all time, I would have my head on a pike. Every single PlayStation channel would make a reaction video telling me how much of a fanboy and how biased and how stupid I am. If I did the same thing with PlayStation 6, where it became the fastest selling system of all time, and I had information that the Switch 2 sales were, I don't know, down year on year a big percentage when the PS6 comes out, and PS6 sales were maybe didn't do as well as, I don't know, it did a little bit beforehand, or like the PS5, but it still sold better than every other platform. It was still the best selling platform for the year and everything in less time. They would have my head on a... I don't even want to think about how the Spawncast and how people would treat me. I already get treated kind of bad at places. I wonder what the attitude and how people would treat me if I omitted that information when talking about sales numbers and percentages and Christmas holiday periods. He did not put that in there. He left it out. He knew, or at least he says that he knew. He says that he knew that PS5 did bad, or did 30% less year on year. It came out in the Circana that Xbox was down like 50 something percent. PlayStation 5 was down like 30 something percent, and that's the economy. I'm not blaming Sony. I'm not blaming Microsoft. That's just the economy. I'm not stupid like some of these other people that don't understand economics. I took my economics class in high school. I took economics in college. I'm very well aware of economics and how it works, ebbs and flows. Sometimes when there's more money, more spend on this, prices of things go up, gas, blah, blah. I know about all that. That all affects video game sales and system sales. I'm very well aware of that. It's ebbs and flows. But if I omitted information like that in order to drive home the point that PlayStation 6 stumbled, like I said, they would have my head on a pike. It would be bad. Like I said, I don't know if he actually had all the sales information, but if he did, I highly recommend never listening or reading an article again from Christopher Drink. If he did. In my opinion, that is an incomplete, narcissistic, like weird way to present information to say it stumbled over the holiday. By the way, it actually sold the best. And it actually sold more than all the other systems on the market. But yeah, stumbled. Oh man, it didn't do too well. To leave out that information, I get that the information was correct or not per se, even though I don't necessarily believe everything there. But the fact that he left out that it actually sold better than every other platform and it helped actually push the console industry revenue and sales-wise forward outside of live services, dude, if the Switch 2 didn't launch this year, the industry would be in very bad shape. It would be in very bad shape. Because once again, PS5 was down year on year. Xbox was down year on year. So if the Switch 2 didn't launch this year, Switch 1 was down 70% in the US, year on year. 70%, 50%, 30% down year on year. Maybe more people would have bought the PS5, or maybe more people would have bought the Xbox or Switch 1 if there was no Switch 2. But it's not like it would make up that difference. It would be bad. Like I said, man, like I said, it's either they're lying, he's lying, or he's a complete fraud, or he's like a fraud. It's like one of the two. To me, that's unethical. You cannot leave out that information. If you want to talk about holiday sales, you cannot hone and focus in on one platform and not provide any type of perspective for your audience. You already know they're going to drive narratives that way. If you're saying, oh my God, the sales stumbled, they were down, oh, it's not. You should at least provide perspective saying, hey, look, guys, the sales stumbled for the Nintendo Switch 2, but it was still the best-selling system for December. That's all you got to say. That's all you've got to say. You can have the same title, you can have everything all there, but that's all you've got to say is, hey guys, the sales were a little bit rougher than compared to, I don't know, Switch 1 or compared to what they did before, the 10 million, that's fine. But just say, hey, but overall, it still sold the best in 2025. It still sold the best in December out of all your systems. That's all you got to do. So then you provide proper context. Like, oh, okay, the economy's a bit down. Everybody's selling a little bit less. Nintendo sold a bit less, but they're still doing pretty decently. They're still doing good. But instead, he didn't do that because he knows that the clickbait would have to be, oh, sales stumble. You can't mention anything else. You got to focus it in on that. At least more like it was part of his podcast, but that was the title of the whole thing. The problem, as a sales analyst, I have a major problem with that. Bro. That to me is crazy that you would leave that information out and make no articles, no topics, no anything else on PS5 sales stumbling or PS5 sales down big year on year. Where was that at? PS5 sales stumble during the holiday despite big discount. Where was that in the US? Where was that at? Where was that article at? That article is nowhere to be found. Now, I don't do stuff like that, so I didn't make that article. I knew it was down year on year, at least here in the US. And I knew it was down in Japan year on year big. And I knew they didn't sell as good as even with the new model Japanese PlayStation 5. But I didn't say nothing because there's no point. It doesn't really matter, at the end of the day. So, man, that's crazy. Crazy. No, you can't trust YouTubers. You can't trust, and the only analyst you can trust is Matt Piscatella. The only analyst you can dead ass, bro. The only video game sales analyst you can trust is Matt Piscatella. The only reporters you can trust is Spawnwave. You legitimately, if you don't want to trust me, oh, I'm biased. Okay, that's fine. Don't trust me. I'll give you guys the real deal and give you guys the facts. But if you don't want to trust me, that's fine. You don't got to trust me. But the only two people you can actually trust are legitimately Matt Piscatella on Blue Sky and Spawnwave. That's it. You cannot trust anybody else. And it's crazy. And it's crazy that that's how far it's gotten. You can trust 2 people, Matt Piscatella and Spawnwave, to deliver the actual news. It's like, damn, this is where we're at right now. Those are the only 2 people you could actually even trust. That's it. Just 2. John, because he simply just reports it, and he reports it fairly and balanced. And Matt Piscatella, because he has the actual data. He does not clickbait you in what's going on. You can't trust anybody else. You can't. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Shout outs though. I appreciate that. Big love to Joe. Joe, 9K. You are now the Hulk Hogan Stream Ninja. Yo, thank you, man. Like, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it, fam. Appreciate it. Let's go. At least when it comes to Nintendo sales and stuff, like, those are the only 2 you can really, like, honestly trust. You can't really trust. I mean, you can trust me. You guys know I do it. I mean, I do it right here. But some people say, oh, he's too biased. He's fanboy. Okay, whatever. Only Matt Piscatella and Spawnwave then. That's the case. Although people have called Spawnwave a fanboy and bias and Nintendo, like, they've called him that too. So you can't trust anybody, I guess, right? Well, I mean, at this point, like I said, at this point, it's crazy. Shout outs to Matt96. Thank you for the Elite Ninja membership. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that, Matt96. Can you trust a man in a banana suit? You definitely can't trust a man in a banana suit, because a man in a banana suit is trying to cover up his pain and is trying to cover up his stupidity. That's the only thing. If you dress up in a banana suit, all you're masking is your own stupidity. Because when you get things wrong, oh, they're just that silly moron in a banana suit. So it's like, yeah, you can't trust those people too, because half the time they just talking just to talk. It's not like they got anything interesting to say, or like they got anything right to say for the most part. They just like to talk. And when they're wrong, oh well. Just, you know. so yeah. One reason why I don't really take Chris Dring numbers is because he only really has the UK numbers, where Nintendo is already not as big anyways. But here's the thing. He stated that he had all the numbers. He stated that he had all the numbers. He said that he had what happened with play. He said that he had all the numbers. He literally he said, no, I have all the numbers. So he intentionally, he said that he had the US numbers. If he had US Nintendo Switch 2 numbers and all that, that means he knew that the Switch 2 outsold the PlayStation 5 in the Christmas time for the US, and he just left that out of his article. Because he said, oh, I want to focus on Nintendo. Okay, that's still Nintendo. So that's my problem. My problem is he's going over stumbling and Christmas sales and percentages, and he left out that it sold better than everything else, and that PlayStation and an easy thing to just say. Hey guys, in perspective though, Switch 2 actually outsold Xbox, outsold PlayStation, and offset double-digit losses by both of them in console sales. So while yes, it stumbled a bit during the holiday, they're gonna have some bigger games later to help out, but it definitely was better than all the other systems that, you know, that were released. That's all he had to say. But he just left that information out. If he actually had that information. I don't know if he did. But if he actually had it, he intentionally left that information out, which is, to me, crazy. To talk about a holiday sales article and not give perspective within the rest of the industry? What the hell? Like, that makes no sense whatsoever. Nintendo does not live within a bubble. The numbers that he got were compared to the other systems. And he made 0 sales articles on PlayStation or Xbox stumbling or anything like that, or doing bad. So that's why I said, like, it was definitely like super weird. And that's, I'm not going to take anything that he says seriously. I can't. I mean, I should have never took it seriously after the first one, after the whole third-party sales article thing. But now you definitely can't take anything that he says super seriously. So yeah. See, maybe Jing was right about European sales with the weasel words called that. No, he went over US sales too. In that article, Wilbur, he went over US sales as well. I went back and looked at it. And he stated to me on Twitter that he had all the numbers for the US sales, that he had it. But he said, no, I'm focusing on Nintendo. I'm like, bro, what? You can focus on Nintendo and still give us its relative position within the industry or within the market to give us perspective. That's fine. You want to focus on them, no problem. But holy smokes, dude, if you're going to do that, at least just say, hey guys, you know, it still sold the most systems in December. It was still top in 2025 overall. the way that he framed it as if it's selling like trash, which would be underneath all the other systems. That would be like well underneath the other systems. He framed it, and I wouldn't say he framed it that way, but he made it seem that way with what he said, because he did not give perspective on the rest of the industry within the article, you know? It's like the same thing like with Famitsu. We go over, hey, here's what Nintendo Switch 2 did. Here's what Nintendo Switch 1 did. Here's what Xbox did. Here's what PlayStation did. We go over it. We don't just provide one. We give you perspective with the whole industry. You know, so to me, it's a malpractice. It's a clickbait. It was intentional clickbait malpractice. That's really what it came down to. Kevin with the 2 music request. I'm not enlightening you on nothing banana suit. I am not enlightening on anything there. Kevin with the 2. I appreciate that. He says, what's up, OJ? Can I get a music from Contact? Contact. What is Contact? Contact video game? What is Contact? Oh, it's a DS game from Atlas. Okay. Interesting. Power Cell. Shoutouts. I've never heard about this game before. Or is it Contact? Anyway, Contact. Thank you for the $2, Kevin. I appreciate that. Anyway, let's get you guys' comments here. Just another artist. What did you say? What did you say? Repeat what you said before with what he said or something. Data manipulation for the agenda is another reason to question journalistic integrity in the sphere. Unfortunately, people are too bright to limit exposure to bad faith pieces. Yeah, people aren't too bright. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, that's a bit of a manipulation, because you should have just told us. Just, that's all you have to say. Like, okay, fine, it stumbled, whatever. That's fine. You can say that, but just tell us its perspective within the rest of the industry. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, oh my gosh, oh, I'm a doctor. I only made, $400,000 this year. But all the other doctors made like 200,000 or something like that, right? And you're complaining, and you're like, oh my god, it's so low, you stumbled, bro. Everybody else did way worse. What you mean? Made it seem like it was like you didn't give any perspective. So it's like if somebody asks you, like, okay, how much did they pay you for this job that you're doing? Okay, well, how much do other people that do the same things you get paid, or in the same areas that get paid? You want to have perspective for your salary, right? You want to have, oh, okay, I'm starting this job. This person does this job. They've been here around the same time as me. We're getting paid around the same. You want to have perspective. You can't just sit there and say, oh my God, this is terrible. But if they give you but not give you perspective to what other people are making. So that's why you look on like Glassdoor and stuff like that, to make sure that you're like, okay, I made about this. It's all perspective on how much you're supposed to make. That gives you an overall look at everything within a business, or within, like, staffing or a company or whatever the case is, right? To omit that information, to me, it's just bad. He says he had it. I don't know if he did. I can't sit there and say that he did, but damn, man, it's crazy. Crazy, fam. Crazy. Rojo Bear, thank you for the 13 months. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Did I see the new Beast of... I did see a little bit of Beast in Reincarnation, and I saw a little bit of Fable. We're going to watch more of it, though, here. We're going to watch it in a bit, once we get a little bit more into the stream, so yeah. I did see a little bit of it, though. 777 says, I only make 38,000. I ain't complaining. Well, definitely push to see if you can make more. If you're doing good at your job, 777, definitely see what you can do to get a job. Like, don't just work there and never get... raises or anything like that. So definitely push to see if you can. If you're doing a good job, and you're, you feel like you should get something higher, then definitely, you can do all that, So yeah. Actually, let me go backwards. Shout outs. Let me go back. Okay. Alright, here we go. Let's see here. Guess OJ, DC guy doesn't like FF7 on Switch 2. Who saw that coming? I think it's just because it's 30 FPS. That's probably the only reason why. Let's see here. What's up, OJ? I posted an unboxing video for Marathon Collection to my channel. Just happy to wake up to 7K views. Hey, congratulations on that, dude. PS5 Pro, PS5 Digital Edition, all selling combined total less than Switch Lite alone in Japan this week is crazy. I mean, that's to be expected. Well, I mean, maybe not less than Switch Lite, but yeah, we did get Japanese sales numbers as well. We got Japanese sales numbers today. We'll go over those too. But yeah, like I said, man, it's just like I said, it's just wild stuff to me. It's just super, super, super wild. And then, like I said, you got people that are already trying to put up damage control videos and saying, oh, it flopped, it did bad in the holiday, it did this. When we all know that's a lie. It did better than every other system. It was the best-selling system of 2025. It did better than every other system in December. We know this. Maybe it got outsold in November. Okay, here in the US. Okay, maybe some parts of Europe. Whatever. Okay, whatever. Switch 1 got outsold sometimes too. So that doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. All that matters is that it did well. These people are doing console wars. These people are doing console war stuff like this because, once again, they're looking for clicks. They're looking for clicks. They know good and well the system sold well in 2025, but they're looking for clicks. And I think it's funny. If they're gonna clickbait it and, you know, make money off of it, we're gonna laugh at them in clickbait too, in a way, but actually tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? So I just find it funny. You know, I just find it funny. Let's see here. Hey, what's up, J-Views? What's up, OJ? What is good? Did they announce exact December sales? No, MPD does not give exact December sales numbers, although people have kind of deciphered it, like, but it's not, there's no exact number that we have for December sales. Now, Japan, yes, we know exactly how much the system sold in Japan for the most part, because they actually give the sales numbers. But yeah, we don't have anything official. Nintendo's gonna give us the sales numbers for the everything overall in next month, and in a couple weeks, actually. That will be in 2 weeks. In about 2 weeks, we're gonna get sales numbers for Nintendo's games over the holiday. We're gonna get sales numbers for the system itself, but they don't do a regional breakdown. Nintendo doesn't do regional breakdowns. That's all just estimates by people. So yeah. Places, by the way, don't you think it's absurd to criticize people for not being a fan of every franchise of their brands, such as Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft? I'm talking general. Don't you think it's absurd to criticize people for not being a fan of every? No. Wait, what do you mean? Criticize people for not being a fan of everything? Yeah, I don't think anybody should be criticized if they're not a fan of every single thing. You don't have to be a fan of everything. So yeah. For me, Mario Zelda's the only Nintendo fan. Only is a Nintendo fan for me, as others have to let people enjoy whatever. Okay. You don't like Fire Emblem with Siphon Filter. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Let's see here. I'm dying. Let them haters hate. Wait till Nintendo's financial report comes out. Haters gonna cry. They're just gonna make the new excuse. But like I said, most people have saw through it at this point. There was a lot of backlash online. A lot of Nintendo fans were, you know, talking about this, and even just people in general. But like, once again, let me do this so we can do this the right way. Because once again, a lot of grifters don't provide perspective within the industry. Don't worry, we're not gonna do that here. You can call me fanboy, you can call me whatever name you want. But here, we'll tell the truth, and we'll tell the whole truth. We're not gonna hone in on what we don't like or what we can grift off of to make money, to make one company or whatever look bad, or anything like that. So we're gonna go over the whole thing here. So shout outs to Shinobi actually rounded up some of the information when it comes to this. And I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about here with the MPD stuff and all of that. So once again, this was for December. This is just the US. And let me tell you guys what I'm talking about. The Switch 2, I said this before. I said this, remember in my last stream or a couple of streams ago, where I said the Switch 2 is needed in the industry. Anybody saying that the Switch 2 shouldn't be here or it's bad for the industry, they're complete morons. Because this is what we're looking at here, guys. When it comes to the industry, okay, this is what we're looking at. Right here, look at this. We're gonna focus right here. This is what we're gonna focus on. We're going to focus on this right here. December spending on subscription services increased 24% year on year. So sub services are increasing. But what is decreasing? Console sales. So people are just buying sub services, buying free or microtransactions, free-to-play games. December Xbox sales dropped 55% from last year. I repeat, PS5 was down 30% from last year. Switch One was down 70% from last year. Do you guys see this? Yet you've got morons making videos talking about Switch 2's flopping. Excuse me, do you see the state right now? Without the Switch 2, look at these numbers, bro. 30% down. Sony literally has every single game, including Xbox games, on their platform. It's December, one of the biggest months. It's down 30%. It had discounts. Switch One was 70% for Switch One. 55% for Xbox Series, 30% for PS5. And that's with discounts across the board for PS5 Digital, PS5 Pro, PS5 Disc-Based Edition. The Switch 2 is needed. Without the Switch 2, look at this. This is what these grifters they don't give you this information. They lie through omission. They don't talk about this. Why would anybody in their right mind talk about how we don't need the Switch 2? Bro, yes we do. It invigorated some life into this industry because these are what's going on. I don't think Switch 2 caused 55% drop in Xbox, a 30% drop in there. It might have caused a 70% drop on Switch 1, but I don't think Switch 2 caused a 30% drop on PS5 and a 55% drop on Xbox. And the reason why I say that is because all of the best-selling games on PlayStation 5, for example, are not even on Nintendo. I mean, yes, Madden is and a couple other stuff, but a lot of the best-selling stuff isn't even there, like Call of Duty and all that.
Pokemon Day is next month. Here's hoping they release Pokemon Red, Yellow, Blue, Green. LOL also wears the sale numbers for the Xbox ROG Ally.
No sale numbers for the Xbox ROG Ally. Shout outs to Justin with the 3. Also shout outs to Chrono Rig with the 10. It says, I think the subject that's just as annoying as people talk about Switch 2 sales is people complaining about MK World every time they come out with new updates. Yeah, that's also annoying too. I agree. So if you're looking at it here, this is what we're looking at in the busiest time of the month. And by the way, from what I understand, last month too, PlayStation 5 sales were also down year on year. So they did worse with a better discount. Now, in Europe, it might have been better. I don't have all the numbers there. It might have been good. Obviously, Japan, it was not good. It was down year on year as well in Japan, even though they had a cheaper model. But in two of the major markets, Japan and the US, it was down year on year with big discounts. So I don't care about that. It's like whatever. The PS5 is doing great. Obviously, Xbox isn't. You know, I don't really care that Switch 2 outsold it or if Switch 2 got outsold. I don't care. Switch 2 is doing good enough. It's doing well enough. It's going to sell well enough to get third-party support and get games on there. And for Nintendo to invest in, it's going to make money. Whatever. I'm not part of that. I don't make royalties or anything off that. But my problem is that omitting information. That's my problem. People that make these videos about Switch 2 and the sales and try to say, oh, well, it's still bad because of this with Switch 1 or because of this over here. And then you say, okay, well, how is it doing compared to its peers? How's it doing compared to, it's like if you play in a basketball league and you score 13 points per game, maybe that's trash, but how's everybody else doing? If everybody else is only scoring 5 points per game, you're actually doing pretty good. That's the limit right now for the skill level or the ability of what league you guys are in. So right now, the league is bad. Because once again, 30% down, at least the league in the US, 30% down on PlayStation 5, 55% down on Xbox Series. This is the truth. This is straight from Circana, Matt Piscatella, formerly MPD. This is the truth. And none of these grifters went over this. And if they do, they brush it off, they brush it aside, and they move right past it. Like I said, it's the lies are done, guys. I already said this last year. I'm saying it now and again. Do not listen to these guys. We can just make fun of them. That's all we can do at this point. We can just make fun of them. Because that is the truth. This is the reality that we're looking at. This is the reality that we're looking at. Switch 2 install base in the US is at 4.4 million units, nearly 2 times the original Switch in the same time frame. So 7 months compared to 7 months. Okay, so that is March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So that does include a bit of that Mario Odyssey, you know, and all the games that came out before that, Mario Kart and Zelda Breath of the Wild and all that stuff. So launch aligned. I don't know if they aligned it for the Christmas though. Maybe they aligned it for Christmas. Maybe they aligned it from June. No, they didn't align it from March. Maybe they aligned it from June. If they aligned it from June in the same 7 months, I'm not sure if they did. Maybe they didn't. Whatever. Either way, it's 2 times more in the same time frame. Maybe the first 7 months, it's 2 times more. Where is it's selling bad then? So did the Switch 1 sell bad? Did the Switch 1 sell bad then? Because nobody said the Switch 1 sold bad, but we've got a million videos saying Switch 2 is selling bad. That makes no sense. The Switch 2 sold more than the Switch 1 in the first 7 months. If you compare them head up, the Switch 2 sold more. Nobody said that the Switch, well actually no, people did say Switch 1 wasn't selling. No, they said it's gonna start selling bad. They said it's gonna start selling bad. But nobody was making videos saying Switch 1 is selling terrible. Nobody was making videos with that. What happened? Can anybody tell me what happened from Switch 1 to Switch 2? When we got the sales numbers for Switch 1, people weren't saying that it's selling bad. Switch 2 is above it. So what happened? Oh, wait a minute. Algorithm. People started hating Nintendo with the Switch 2, the game key card stuff, the Mario Kart 8. It's almost as if negative Nintendo news and people's unstable psyche got them to lie and to grift about Nintendo's sales for money. It's almost as if that's what happened, because nobody said 15, 16 million units when the Switch 1 sold that in the same time frame, or in actually longer. Nobody was making videos saying, oh my god, these are terrible sales and Nintendo fanboys are out of their mind. Not a single person made a video talking about that. They said, oh, it could fail. They did what what's it called did with Did You Know Gaming. They would change their titles. Oh man, Switch 2, this could cost them big time. And then change their title to, oh well, long term it could fail. Like, will it fail long term? When you know it's not gonna fail within the first number of months, when you already know it's not. Clearly it's not. So you gotta change the title. That's what they used to do back then, or just delete the video. But now you got a lot of grifters, you got a lot of people that are, like I said, liars, that are so, like I said, their psyches are so messed up. And they know that they can make a lot of money off YouTube. Just make as much money as you can while you can do it, and then change the subject and just lie or just move on to something else later. That's what it is, because they know that you can make a ton of money off of lying, and you can clickbait and get a bunch of views. And when I mean ton of money, I mean actual pennies, but a ton of money to them. That's what I mean. I don't mean like an actual real ton of money, but I just mean like for them, it'd be a lot of money, because hey, I can lie and make, you know, $70 per video or something like that, you know? So, or $100 or $200 or whatever the case is, like little quick payday for them. So that's really what it comes down to. Listen, man, rent's expensive, mortgage is expensive, things are piling up. A lot of these people, this is their way out of the hood. I don't know. This is their way to actually have a little bit better life for themselves and for their family. So they're gonna milk it as much as they can till it's actually like feasibly not true that you can do it, right? So they're gonna milk it. They're gonna milk it as long as they can. So yeah. That is the truth. That is the reality right now. Big love to Justin with the 36 on the board. Also big love to Chrono Rig, 46 on the board. 45-minute extension already unlocked. Ayo.
Overclock Buster.
Let's see. Hey OJ, just like Paris from Gamertag Radio confronted Dreamcast guy about the fraud videos he'd make, tell him in person it pays the bills. Yeah. I mean, but like I said, we've known this though. No shots to Dreamcast guy, but we already know. Like I kind of already know what's going on. You know, like we are. already know what's going down. We already know, but no shots to him, man. Like I said, he's cool. He's the homie, but yeah. It's clear that Nintendo won the console war. Grifters just don't want to accept that. They think that PCs won it, but who? Listen, when it comes to this console war thing, to me is stupid. It doesn't really matter. Console wars have been, in my opinion, done for a very long time. And the reason why I say console wars have been done for a very long time is because it literally is irrelevant. Like, it does not matter anymore. And the reason why it does not matter anymore, because of free-to-play games, because of mobile games, because of these like. But back in the day, there wasn't all this other stuff that came in. Like, we had PC, but we didn't have all the different stuff. We didn't have all the PC handhelds. We didn't have all the we didn't have mobile games. So the way that you played games was consoles. Now that there's so many different ways to play games, it don't even matter anymore, you know?
I just realized I started the Yakuza series at a perfect time since the remake of the 3 game is coming out February 12th.
Yep.
Do you think more will come to Switch too?
Oh yeah, they're gonna put more on there, for sure. For sure. Says GameSpot already said that Nintendo won the war. I mean, like I said, there's no more console war. Microsoft now makes games on Xbox, on PlayStation and Nintendo. Sony has put a couple games on Xbox and put some games on Switch 1. Nintendo just does what Nintendo does. Mobile's like the biggest thing ever. PC gaming is a whole separate entity, kind of like a whole different beast. You've got PC handhelds, you've got mobile phones, you've got weird gameplay things, you've got weird camera boxes and all sorts of stuff. Like I said, like the console war is over. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's over. It's irrelevant. It does not matter anymore. It really does not. Because you really only got 2 people in it, and that's fine, a 2-person war. But once again, back in the day when it was like Nintendo, back then we did not have all these other things that can, like, we don't have like web. I mean, we had web games, but we don't have like actual intense web games. Like, you can play Fortnite on your browser, right? Like, there's so many different ways to engage in games, and today, like, the console war just means less and less. That's all. It don't even really matter. So yeah. PC is bigger than the console market. Let's get the facts straight. I'm not so sure about that. Grifters are extremely quiet, and they're not. Some of them aren't quiet. Well, most of them are quiet, but some of them are definitely quiet. But yeah, it's interesting. Let's get you guys' comments though. I haven't been reading enough of you guys' comments. Big love to Justin. Thank you for the 49 combo breaks. We are 11 combos away from a 1-hour extension. At least I'll do my best, guys. With that. Console Wars ended on the second Sony brought Lego Horizon to Switch. I think Console Wars ended before that. I think Console Wars ended when Nintendo made like the Switch, and when Microsoft decided to put games on like PlayStation. I think that's when Console Wars really just like, okay, it's kind of done now, because Nintendo, they are making a whole new breed. They're making a hybrid. And then, like, Microsoft is putting games on PlayStation, Sony's putting games on Switch 1, like, Sony's putting sometimes games on Xbox, like, you know. So, to me, it's like, yeah, sure, they still want to sell well, like, but the console war, per se, that doesn't matter anymore. That's not like a real thing, you know? But yeah, it's like I said, it's like whatever, you know? You could only have a war when you have weapons that match the industry leader. Both Microsoft and Sony have actively avoided Nintendo this whole time. I don't think about actively avoiding, because they've all tried to do their own variation of Switch. So, for example, Microsoft, they got in bed with the Logitech G Cloud. Then they got in bed with Asus with, you know, the ROG Ally. That's definitely a play on a hybrid system. And then if you look at Sony, they made the PS Portal, and that's definitely their play on a hybrid system as well. Portable play, like console games anywhere that you want. It's just that they can't do it better than Nintendo. That's the thing. Like, they can do it, but they can't do it better. You know, it's kind of like, and when I mean they can't do it better, I mean they can't actually beat them out at their own game. Like, they can't outsell them at their own game. You know. Let's see. You're running that. The time's already out for grifters. Spider-Man, I feel you on that one, brother. Spider-Man Fall, or Spider-Man fan, but the time was already out before. They've already been cooked. They're just running. It's what do you say, borrowed time? What would you say? It's just like, what's the stuff in soccer, or in America, overtime? What do they call it when you go over? They call it the penalty or something like that. They're in penalty right now. But it's over. It's done. It's been done. You know, Sony will try to do a handheld. A handheld. I think, yeah, that's the thing. Sony will try to do a handheld. They will try. We'll see how it works out, though. People like why are we still bringing them up? I'm just reading the comment here, guys. People trying to accuse me that I'm always bringing them up. People are bringing up the comments. I didn't bring them up. Y'all did. People like Nintendo are so stupid, pretending to be like a smartass when he's not. The console is still doing relatively well, even though the U.S. economy is not really being in a good spot right now. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. When you have somebody who thinks that he's smarter than everyone else in the room, but he's actually not. He's actually, like, out of all of, like, the Nintendo, you know, content creators that actually can discuss sales and all that, he's probably one of the more dumb ones out there, to be honest. Like, when it comes to sales, like, if you want to take, like, me, Prime, you know, Nintendo Prime, me, RGT, you know, well, let's not include RGT. Spawn Wave, because RGT don't really talk about, I mean, he does, but he just kind of rants about things. So let's talk about people who actually do analytics, right? RGT's not an analytics guy. So, me, Prime, Spawn Wave, like Andres Restart, like, just take all the community, right, that actually know analytics and do analytics a bit. Like, he's the dumbest one out of all of us. Like, you know, or even like you take like Zoo, you know, Mongunzo flipping the switch. Like, you can take all of us and, like, I guarantee you he knows the least amount when it comes to, because he didn't start covering Nintendo sales until the Switch 2, until he got angry. It's all a vendetta, you know, so it's not like he's covering Switch 2 sales because he actually wants to know about the numbers and he actually wants to, like, oh, okay, I'm an analytics guy. I want to know about the numbers. I want to compare. I want to contrast. I want to see how this is within the industry. He doesn't care about that. It's all personal vendetta, like personal anger with Nintendo, because he's angry about decisions that they made. Like he didn't get a good price on the Switch 2, or it's not based off of actually wanting to give people good information and the facts. It's based off of his own anger and being mad at the system or being mad at Nintendo. It's completely biased, weirdo nonsense. So that's why you can't take any of it seriously, because it's completely slided towards negativity just so he can grift, just because he's angry about something, you know? Because if you look at his channel all before the Switch 2 came out, it had nothing to do with sales. It had nothing to do with analytics. It had nothing to do with numbers. He didn't do analytics and sales on anybody. I've done analytics and sales on everybody, on Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, the whole industry, because I enjoy doing numbers. You know, I've done numbers in my past, so I just do the numbers so people have the right information, you know? Same thing with Spawn as well. Spawn used to work at a video game store. He saw what people are buying, what people are selling, what's going on. He did all that. So Spawn has a lot of good analytics numbers. Andres Restart, same thing. Andres Restart also worked in numbers and sales. Nintendo Prime has had a variety of different jobs when it comes to numbers and sales and things like that. So yeah, it's the Dunning-Kruger effect. Somebody who talks the loudest, who thinks he knows the most, usually knows the least. And the people that do that are also afraid, usually, to go up against people that know what they're talking about. They'll avoid that, especially if those people can, you know, can prove them wrong instantly or quickly, or know what they're talking about. And no, that was no shot to RGT. Just RGT's not an analytics guy. He's just kind of more like, oh, here's what I think about something guy, you know? But he's not really like an analytics guy. Like, I know he talks about sales sometimes, but that's not what his style is. His style is kind of like a little bit of funny information, you know, a little just kind of like nonchalant. Like, it's a different style. It's not analytics though. It's not analytics like Prime, or it's not like in depth, you know, when it comes to like really digging in, like what happened, what's going on here, economy, things like that. It's not stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm a little bit of a ranty type channel too. Like I can get that way as well. So it wasn't a shot at him. I'm just saying he's not really like, you know, like my channel or like Prime or like Spawnway, you know? Let's see here. So yeah. Why is there always the video? Let's see here. Let's see. He's more of a car and wrestling games are cool guy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of more of like, oh man, here's the actual games. You know. So yeah. So yeah. So thank God we have people like you who are the ones who, a few good guys that are reporting on the actual Nintendo facts, not spreading nonsense that isn't even true at all. Yep. I find it really weird to hate a video game company, dislike, understand, actively hating screams ridiculous and unhealthy. Yeah, it really is ridiculous and unhealthy. It really is. If you don't like something, but once again, when you get money involved, when you get YouTube views and clout and ego, like I said, a lot of these guys, like I said, Dunning-Kruger peeps got real big egos. I highly suggest you guys go watch videos on that. Like a lot of these Dunning-Kruger Nintends, I don't know what to call them. These Dunning-Krugers, bro. A lot of these Dunning-Kruger Nintends, bro, these people, they'll act like they know exactly what they're talking about. Like they don't know anything. They just started talking about sales now because it's the hot thing to talk about. They have no actual history on covering sales. They just started talking about it last year for grift, for clout, and for views. They never talked about Switch. They never discussed Switch 1 sales numbers or other things like that. It's only to grift for clout, not at this point, you know? So yeah. Let's see here. Boycotting is pointless. You can boycott whatever you want. I don't people can boycott whatever. I don't care about that. DJ with the subscription. I appreciate that, DJ. Rogers Base isn't really a numbers person. He's definitely like he's like a hype and information. He's like a hype and anime guy, you know, and that's cool too. Rogers Base, like once again, it's a different type of channel. I like Rogers Base a lot. I watch his videos. They're great. Like he does predictions, he does Nintendo videos, he does Bleach, and he does One Piece. He does all sorts of cool stuff. He's great, but he's not really like a numbers analytics person. Like he doesn't go in depth into that type of stuff, you know. Let's see here. Love when they post leave multi-billion-dollar company alone when they don't realize they can't leave them alone. Pretty much. And wanting to get the information correct has nothing to do with defending. Getting information correct is what's important. Getting it correct. If it's not doing good, then just say that it's not doing good. If it's like the facts. If it is doing good, then it is doing good. So. Let's see. Either way, the video game consumer is important to criticize bad politics. Both Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft have $8 price tag in Europe. I don't buy exclusives at that price. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. So it is what it is. Always plays games and reacts to stuff. That's what he does. Yeah, it's great. It's so good. So why do they annoy you so much? Why not ignore them? Treat them like, well, grifters just not relevant. Nobody's annoyed. Like I said, it's my job. I create content when it comes to factual stuff. People come to my stream saying, hey, this person said this. It is my job to react to the correct information. That is my job. It's not about being annoyed. Nobody's annoyed. I'm just saying it what it is. I'm calling it how it is.
Games is really the last Xbox developer that is still making games I care about for Xbox. It's sad.
Yeah, shout outs. So big love, shout outs to Playground Games, I know, seriously. But that's the whole thing. It's about telling the truth. So if somebody says stuff that's not the truth when it comes to what I analyze, that's gonna make everybody who does analyze stuff correctly look bad. Think about it. If it goes unchecked, going unchecked means that it's almost you are allowing it to happen. You are saying that it's true. If nobody checks liars, the world would be in a very bad state. So for me, I like the truth, okay? I'm a big fan of the truth, and I'm a big fan of being like, giving accurate information to people. A lot of people will take advantage of you if you don't check that. If everybody just ignores it, then those narratives and those lies will become truth for a lot of people, and that's incorrect information. In my opinion, my job is to make sure people have the correct information. So I am going to do what I can to make sure that you guys have the correct information. Yeah, sure. Is it a burden sometimes? Okay, yeah, whatever. But that's my job. It's literally my job to give you guys the correct information. It's SpawnWave's job to give you guys the correct information. That's our jobs. We've been doing it for a decade now, or going on a decade. 2017, I've been doing this full time since 2017. My job is to give you guys the correct information. So it's not about being annoyed. Oh, they're just ignore them. No, my job is to give you guys the correct information. Now, if you don't want the correct information, then ignore them. You know what I'm saying? Like, then do that. You can ignore them. But my job is to give you guys the correct information. And damn right we're gonna sit there and call it out when we see it. That's my job, you know? That's my job. I gotta do that. And I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm not gonna stop doing it, you know? It's not about being annoyed. Nobody's annoyed. It's my job, you know? Trust me, I get annoyed with, if you follow me on Twitter, you guys see some of the other stuff that I talk about. That stuff's way more important. Okay? So nobody's getting annoyed. Nobody's getting upset. It's my job to call out bad faith people and bad faith articles and bad faith stuff. It's those people's job to grift. That's what they do for a living. They like to grift for a living. Okay, that's their job. They can keep doing it. They don't want to admit it, but that's what they do. And it's my job to say, no, this is what it's about here. So that's what it comes down to. And I think people appreciate me for that. Shout out to the Casual Noob, also with the $1 dono. Casual Noob says, I got money that Christopher Dring is on the leaderboard for Among Us. Now, once again, I want to make sure that I make this very clear. Christopher Dring's information was correct to a degree. It was correct. However, he omitted information on the rest of the industry to hone in on Nintendo. He omitted, he lied by omission. He did not state, he said, sales stumbled over Christmas, but it was the best-selling system over Christmas. Think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. Oh, the sales stumbled. It was down here. It was mixed here. It was down there. It was down. Oh my God, against the Switch 1. But it's the best-selling system over the Christmas period too. But it sold the best in December. And it sold better than the PlayStation 5. But I don't have to mention that. And it also sold better than the Xbox. But that's also given, right? Like, bro. So I'm not saying what he was saying was 100% wrong. What I'm saying is that he didn't give all the information. He left that out, and he never said it. He never mentioned it. He still, to this day, he did not mention PlayStation 5. He never mentioned it. Last time I checked, he's not a Nintendo analyst only. He covers Xbox, PlayStation, and Sony. But he just left out the rest of the stuff. He just took what he felt like, what he can clickbait, made it into a thing, a big thing for everybody to talk about it, and then he just said, oh, well, y'all will find out about PlayStation when you find out about PlayStation. He just left the information out. He just left it out, bro. Oh my goodness. Listen, I know some of you guys don't understand like why that's a problem, but trust me, if I did this, oh my, I'm thinking about what would happen. I'm thinking about what would happen if I actually did this too. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it, man, and it's just, like I said, it's just fun. It's just funny to me. It's just funny to me. It's just funny. If I did this, like, if PS6 comes out and it sells the fastest ever, and maybe the sales stumble from where it was before, and I made a video saying, oh my God, PS5 sales stumble, and then later information comes out that PS5 sold the best in December, that Switch 2 was down 30% year on year. Oh my God, I would get destroyed. It would be a bloodbath. I'm trying to think that everybody wants perspective. Nobody just wants just a singular piece of information without how everything else is doing. Like when you say, oh man, who's the best running back in the league? You're like, oh, it's this guy. Well, who's the next best? How does he compare to this other guy? You give perspective. What were the stats? You give, like, if you're talking about competition, right, or sales, you go over a number of things. You don't just go over one thing. You go over a number of things within that same industry. So that's why I said, like, it just blows my mind that what's it called? That he just left that information out. He says that he knew it, but I don't know if he did. I think he might be lying, but he says that he's not lying. Okay, fine. Let's just assume that he knew the information. The fact that you made nothing, you made no videos, you made no articles, you said nothing, and you just waited for Circana to talk about it. He's not NDA'd on that. He could have talked about it. He chose not to. So that's the issue that I have, man. Like that's like really the only that's like the big issue that I have. Which led, like I said, to people grifting, people making videos. But if you knew that it did better than PlayStation 5, you probably would have never made the video. Because that's the whole basis of a lot of these grifters' points, is that PS5 did better. Okay, that's fine. That's their own narrative. But once again, you got to give perspective within the rest of the industry. And that's what's important. Now, once again, I don't care if Nintendo Switch 2 sold, if PS5 sold 1 million and 1.5 million, and Nintendo Switch 2 sold 1.2 million. Dude, who cares? 300,000 units? Oh well, we don't get that money. Nobody should actually care about that. They're both doing well, and PS5 is doing well. My problem is that you gave you left off information on purpose to make it seem worse. That's my biggest problem, you know. So yeah. What's up, V? Welcome. Definitely never change, man. We need more people like you in this community, and you're pretty based too. Thank you. I appreciate that, Nintendo guy. Mappus Costello is the only reason I boot up the Blue Sky app. Otherwise, I'll get everything from the Bird app. Yeah. Oh man. Let's see here. He says, "How did grifting get this big? It's insane." YouTube paid out I think they said $100 billion, like in 4 years, or something like that. But if you want to know how grifting got so big, follow the money. That's all you got to do. It's literally money based. It's not based on anything but money. That if grifter videos didn't do well, if nobody would be making them. It's because they do well. That's the reason why they're made. They're not made because, oh, they really feel a certain type of way. They're made because they make money. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why that they're made. It's the same reason why people don't talk about Monolith Soft. If Monolith Soft games sold, I don't know, 15 million, 20 million, more people would probably talk about Monolith Soft because you can make more money off of it and it's more popular, you know? But it's not. So therefore, you're not going to get that. So it's based off of how popular something is. So grifter videos became popular because some people were upset or angry. The YouTube algorithm took it over. However, it is changing now though, guys. It's kind of shifting. The same type of views that people were getting beforehand, they're not getting anymore. The 10 million unit sales, that slashed the views almost in half, I would say. Well, not almost in half, but that slashed a lot of it. Now, there's still the occasional big, 100K view here and there, but we were talking about 300, 400, 500,000 views sometimes, right, earlier. So it's been severely cut down. So they're doing whatever they can, at the end of the day. So yeah, both PS5, Switch 2 are doing pretty great, in my opinion. End of conversation. Exactly. There you go. End of conversation. Really, it just stops right there. Although the Switch 1 isn't doing as good as PS5 or Switch 2, but I see what you're saying. But yes, it's done as well in the past. Let's list. No, we're not listing. Oh, wait a minute. No, and all those guys aren't grifters. What are you talking about? No, that list is terrible, Tiara. What do you mean? Nintendo Prime, Rogers Base, Switch Force, beat 'em ups? No. Nintendo? No. Those are not all grifters. No. We don't need to list all them. We're not calling out anybody's names. A lot of you guys keep on bringing up names, bro. We ain't bringing up names. Y'all know who they are. Y'all know. We know who they are. But there's a lot of people on that list that are not it. No. So, Rogers Base? How is he a grifter? He just reacts to anime and just gets hype about video games. No, that's not true. Prime's not a grifter either. Prime's better than me when it comes to facts. Like Prime is legit better than me. He's like more accurate and knows more than me when it comes to like actually reporting the right stuff. I make more mistakes than Prime when it comes down to it. So we can't include him. He's really good. Like he's really good at the numbers and stuff like that. Because like I said, he's got a background though. He's worked in he's worked in finance, he's worked in numbers. So like no, you can't include him. If anything, he'd be busting up grifters like I do. So yeah. But no, right? I'm not calling my buddies names or nothing, bro. It's like, listen, I said stop naming all sorts of people. I did talk about Christopher Drink, but he's an analyst where he puts his articles out there. That's a little bit different. We're talking about the base of where a lot of this stuff came from, at least the stuff that happened like a couple weeks ago. I think it was early January. But you got to realize, man, this is, like I said, this is what's going on with a lot of these people. They've got to make their money on it, you know. So this is part of what they do. So it is what it is, you know. Shout outs to Johnny. Thank you for the $10 dono. Says thank you. Yeah, definitely. Beat 'em ups is the homie too. I don't see Grifter. I don't see Grifter with stuff that he does. I mean, you might not like all the videos and everything, but I don't know. There's still Grifter. Like I said, Grifter. Here, to me, guys, here's my definition, bro. Here's my definition. All right. My definition is people who purposefully lie or omit data in order to make something that they truly dislike look way worse. Okay? That's what a grifter is. Usually grifters have a dislike or heavy dislike for whatever they're talking about. It's not people who truly want to see Nintendo do better. If people want to truly see Nintendo do better, talking about their sales numbers is irrelevant. Why would you talk about sales numbers? That doesn't make Nintendo do better. Whether they're doing really good or whether whatever, that's irrelevant. You should simply just be talking about what you think they should do. Hey, fix no more $80 Mario Kart. Make Mario Kart better. Hey, can we get some discounts on games? Hey, what's this key card situation? Like, that's what you should be talking about. Talking about sales numbers, that's irrelevant to someone that truly wants to see Nintendo do better. What does that matter? Why are you manipulating data, making up things, saying, oh, these fanboys are in denial about sales numbers? What does that matter? Nintendo can sell a bazillion copies. That doesn't matter. Nintendo can sell more or less. That does not matter in terms of, you know, of making Nintendo better or not. That's what I'm saying. Like, the people that are grifters truly have some type of deep hatred for one reason or another, or vendetta that they're doing, and they're therefore manipulating sales data, manipulating information in order to get you to feel a certain type of way. That's what a grifter is. A grifter isn't somebody who makes a video that you don't like on like a Nintendo game or something like that. That's not what a grifter is. That's just their own opinion on what they feel about Nintendo about that. Grifters take data, or they take, you know, like I said, incomplete data, or they don't give you perspective. They purposefully chop things off to make something look a lot worse than what it is, and then they damage control and make excuses and move the goalpost constantly over and over the course of time to simply just, like I said, for attention or to make as much money as possible. That is what a grifter is. And usually, not all of them, but video game grifters avoid debates. Now, IRL grifters, like grifters on politics and stuff, they do debates and all that because that makes them more money and all that, because they have, like, certain people have crazy devotion to their fan. They've indoctrinated a lot of their fan base to believe and think exactly like they think, no matter what information comes out, like, you know, on whatever side, it doesn't matter. So debates are another thing, right? But when it comes to video game people, it's like, it's pretty cut and dry, black and white when it comes to video games, especially when it comes to sales. Grifters avoid smarter content creators like the plague. They want nothing to do with them. They do not want to talk to them. They do not want to debate them. They don't want anything to, because it will ruin their grift. It will 100% ruin their grift. So that's the reason why that they don't want nothing to do with them. Nobody wants anything to do with Nintendo Prime. Nobody wants nothing to do with me. And the people that I have debated on Switch 2, what happened? They got absolutely obliterated. And people saw that. A lot of people saw that debate that me and Prime did, and they said, no mas, not for me. I'm good. I'm trying to make some money this generation, or at least I'm trying to make some money in this first year or two when I can. I can't have this guy cooking me. It's going to be all over YouTube that, oh my God, PlayerEssence cooked this guy, or the debate, oh, it's going to, or Nintendo Prime, that stupid fanboy, or PlayerEssence, that stupid out of control fanboy. Oh, actually, isn't that actually levied criticism towards Nintendo, actually was intelligent towards his points, actually well-researched everything? Oh, snap. I don't want none of that. And that's what happened. That's exactly what happened, you know? So that's the difference. People that are just making certain videos that you don't like because you don't like what they said about a certain game or about the system, that's not a grifter. Like I said, people that grift, they manipulate data in order to push it a certain way, make you lean a certain way, one way or another, you know, with incomplete information, incorrect manipulated data, things like that.
Also, you just know grifters smell, no offense, but I just know it.
If you sit down in your room for an hour and a half, damage controlling Nintendo Switch 2 selling 10 million units, you probably smell like ass. I mean, I'll just be honest, you probably it's just a guess, but yes, probably. because I can't sit down in this seat once again, damage controller for an hour and a half, recording a video in probably. Because that's a lot of stress. That's a lot of stress right there, bro. You got to sit there and make up all these different things and lie to your fan base. That's crazy. Let's see here. Can't stay, but I wanted to say hi, guys. You have to go back to work. Hey, shout outs, Gloria. I hope you're doing good. Shout outs, young lady. Thank you for the big $20. Let's go. Big love, 88 on the combo board. We are going even further. Let go.
Even further beyond.
Even further beyond. Yes, ma'am. 86 and 61 hour extension on the board. Hey, yo. Let's go. Noah and Mio flying through the skies. Even though Switch 2 numbers were down slightly in December, Switch 2 outsold other consoles. Numbers fluctuate from time to time. Switch 2 is hitting record sales. Yeah, sure. Once again, Nintendo Switch 2 is a very interesting case, right? In the past, a lot of times systems launch in the holiday. Like Xbox, PlayStation, they launch in the holiday. It's a little bit different. Nintendo launches in the middle of the year. Nintendo also has a ton of stock. So traditionally what would happen, like with the Switch 1, Nintendo did not have anywhere near as much stock. So they got a lot more stock at the end of the year. So, okay, people were picking up their systems more towards the end of the year. With the Switch 2, it's like, hey, you can walk in, at least if you're not in Japan, you can walk into a lot of places and just pick it up. So people have been picking it up kind of just like, it's kind of like going up and down in terms of when people pick it up. A lot of people would have traditionally, with console shortages, you pick up a system at the end of the year or the holiday. Now you're able to get it whenever you want. So it's going to be a little bit different in terms of sales trajectory compared to Switch 1 or compared to other systems. But either way, people are still going to buy it. It's still going to sell well. Whether it does down compared to Switch 1 or compared to whatever, that's irrelevant. It still sold more than any other system on the market right there at this time. It still sold the most in 2025, and it still helped offset double-digit losses from Xbox and PlayStation as the industry as a whole. So if you actually care about this video game industry, you would identify that. If you were actually non-biased, you would identify that and say, oh man, look at the PlayStation, look at Xbox Series, look at PlayStation 5, look at Nintendo Switch 1. All of those were down at least 30% or more, up to 70% for the Switch 1, 55% for the Xbox Series. Switch 2 comes in and it helps actually boost the industry above that. Without the Switch 2, the industry would have been significantly lower this month than ever before. We saw that last month in November, and that was with the Switch 2. So if you truly love this industry or want this industry to get better, sitting here and making hate videos, omitting information, and lying is not it. It's just not it. Shout outs to Cybertorse.
Phew, between the kiddos' sports, work, life, Seahawks, and all these games coming out, I need a breather, lol.
Shout outs to Cybertorse. I know, man, there's a lot of stuff going on right now, bro. A lot of stuff going on right now, and a lot of stuff, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Shout out to Cybertorse. I appreciate you, fam. Thank you for the 25. Hey, yo. We are out here. Thank you so much for the $25. Oh, you know the whole Kogan. Extreme Ninja. Yo, let's go. The 25 on both boards. So, shout out to Cybertorse. Give him some love in the chat. But yeah, man, like Cybertorse, like I was saying, bro, like if you truly love this industry, you would identify the positives, the negatives, what's happening, and give your viewers and give your audience the truth. Stop having some type of weird vendetta against one platform and try to find everything that you can negative about something in order to grip. That's, like I said, that's lazy, it's trash, and it's garbage. It's just like, there's no point. I love the industry. I love video games. It would break my heart if I had to sit there and hold a vendetta against a system in order to grift off you guys because I was angry about a price or about game key cards or whatever. I don't have to like it, but I'm gonna give you guys the facts and the truth, and I'm gonna give you guys exactly where we are in the industry. I'm not just gonna say what I don't like and focus on that. I'm gonna tell you guys the truth and everything around it. 100%. That's what real ones do. Now, once again, if you're not a real one, or if you're a grifter or a liar, it's not about that for you. It's about, you know, your own personal vendetta or anger that you have, and it's about making money on YouTube. You know, we know what it is. We know what it is. Well, like I said, there are people that were built to be real ones and to be elite, and there are people that were just built to be frauds and liars. That's just something, and it's a never ending. I see it as yin and yang. I know, do you guys believe in yin and yang? Now, I'm not saying that people are evil or anything, but there's always a side that's looking out for the truth and a side that's looking out for themselves or for wrong. And I mean it in a very playful way, yin and yang, okay, guys? I'm not calling people darkness evil, okay? But I do see it as a little bit of a yin and yang. There are people that are going to be liars, manipulators when it comes to any industry, anything, that are going to try to grift. That's a common thing in every single sector. And there's going to be people that want to tell you the truth. There's going to be people that want to tell you what's really going down, you know? So to me, it's fun. It's part of the whole thing. I like being on the right side of history. You know, I'm a fan of the right side of history. I'm a fan of getting it right, you know? Which, like I said, I don't have to release damage control videos, you know? I don't have to release damage control videos. I don't got to do that. Thank God I don't have to do that either, you know, because we had to release a few. Until I realized in 2015 that, no, OJ, that ain't gonna work, fam. That ain't gonna work. We had to do that. So Switch 1, I made sure, hey, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that in Switch 1 era. We talking about it. We doing it right, you know? So, let's see here. There's so many YouTubers or content creators that hate Nintendo every day. There's always negative videos on Nintendo on YouTube. It's one, because they're popular. Two, because they do some things that people don't like, but really because of views and because they're just popular. So yeah. What's up, Jackson? Welcome. I missed your dono again. So that's the Deported Sicilian with the $2, and he says, "Can you go over the schedule?" Thank you for the 2, Deported Sicilian. I think I missed Casual Noob's $1. My bad, Casual Noob. I'm sorry. I think I was in the middle of ranting. That's why I missed it. Let me read off what you have to say. Let's see here. Not to get biblical, but when I hear successive grifters, I think we're yeah, that's okay. Yeah, we're not gonna read the rest of that, but yeah, I appreciate you, fam. I appreciate you, fam. I appreciate you. Thank you for the $1 dono. But yeah, I feel you on that one though. You know where I stand on stuff like that. Casual Noob. Let's see, online discourse aside, Switch 2 is generally a fantastic console and spectacular upgrade over the Switch 1. It is, and that's why people keep on buying it. That's why, like I said, guys, a lot of this stuff is performative when it comes down to Switch 2. A lot of these people that are making videos on it, they want one or they have one. Like I said, some grifters probably have one, and or they want one. You know what I'm saying? We saw that with Mudahar. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying he's a grifter, but he made so many negative, this with Switch 2 before launch, then he went out there and bought one. So a lot of these guys probably already have one, or they want one, or they're gonna get one when the new Mario comes out, or new Pokemon, or new Zelda, or whatever. So yeah, that's why I said this might be the last year, because this year they're probably gonna reveal the next 3D Mario game. They're gonna reveal the next Pokemon game. They're maybe gonna tease the next Zelda game. They're gonna have a lot of cool stuff, you know, for people to play. So yeah, this might be, like I said, this might be the last year for these people to do this in the type of way that they're doing it, you know? So they're getting it in when they can. I respect it. I respect it. They're getting it in when they can. I thought Nintendo was doomed. What happened? Doomed since 1889. Doomed since 1889. Is Kiwi Talks here? I didn't see Kiwi Talks. Shout out to Kiwi Talks if he's here. The biggest story in gaming right now is impact and the direction. Xbox is the biggest story in gaming. Xbox decline is the biggest story. I mean, I think it was. I think at this point we're all in the aftermath, like the post-mortem of it. So everyone's kind of accepted kind of like what Xbox's path is right now. Elvin Ryan with the $2 dono says, cool. That's his first ever super chat. Thank you so much, man. First ever super on a stream. So yeah. Yeah, Beast and Reincarnation looks cool, but it's a completely different style of game than Pokemon. It's a single player, one dog RPG. Like, I don't know. I guess maybe the Pokemon company should make a single player, one Arcanine Pokemon game. Like, where you just use Arcanine and like you just fight with a Pokemon trainer and you just use Arcanine and make the graphics really good. Don't make it about battling. Don't make it about you know, multiple Pokemon. Don't make it about all that stuff. Don't waste your time on that. Just make a really good graphics, one Arcanine, and make Pokemon games like that, and then everyone will be happy, right? That should be the future of Pokemon. Just like one Houndoom, and make one Houndoom, make a few different enemy types, and just make the graphics good. Boom, way better than Pokemon right there. No need for Pokemon Wind and Wave. No need for Pokemon Sword and Shield or Scarlet and Violet. Look at this game. It's so much better. So they should just do that. I'm from Spain, and I consume lots of Spanish video game content and politics. One place to fan, even said PS3 consoles onward after are niche hardcore gamers, with Nintendo appeals to everybody. Love with Octopath Zero between that and FS7 kind of crazy. Yeah. Favorite Pokemon? My favorite Pokemon's Arcanine. Yeah, my favorite Pokemon's Arcanine. Arcanine, and I know I liked Mewtwo a lot when I was younger, but I don't think I like Mewtwo as much anymore. But yeah, I did like Mewtwo a lot, but I'm like a Gen 1er, so I like Arcanine, I like Mewtwo, I like Cubone, I like who else do I like? I like Staraptor. That's a Gen 4 Pokemon, right? That's Diamond and Pearl. I like Staraptor. Yeah, there's a lot of cool Pokemon. But yeah, if I had to pick one, I like Charizard too. I like Charizard. I like Typhlosion. I like Typhlosion. I like Charizard. I like Fire Pokemon a lot. Fire Pokemon are like my favorite. Cybertoast with the 5.
No hate, but Xbox is going to become a niche platform for hardware, and they need to focus on putting out quality games with all those IPs they own.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they've decided to do. That's what they've decided, which is unfortunate because they have the guns to sell exclusives now. Like if they wanted to do it, or like if they just said, hey, we're still gonna do it, they could have done it. But you know, obviously they decided not to do it. So, so once you put your foot in there, you can't really pull the rug out from underneath people. You know, you got to just kind of just go in with that. So yeah. Let's see here. P, I love you, but you're damage controlling how Pokemon looks. I'm not damage controlling how Pokemon looks. I just said what they should. I literally made a joke just saying, hey, what they should do is they should make a one-person Pokemon game and just do that. If you've watched my videos on Pokemon, I've stated how they need to improve the graphics and it needs to be better multiple times. So that's just you, I mean, being ignorant, really. And you being, I think you're probably very upset when it comes to Pokemon. If you say anything, but it's the worst thing ever, it's the terrible, people will tell you, you're damage controlling. No, watch my videos on Pokemon. I've literally said that they need to do better every single time that we talk about that game. Go back and watch my videos. Go watch them now. Go check them out. I've said that. So I simply just made a joke with Beast and Reincarnation. I said, hey, look, why don't they just make a single Pokemon game where you just play as one Pokemon, Arcanine, and a trainer, and a few different types of enemies, and it's a single player RPG, and play through that way, and people will be happy. Right? That's what Beast of Reincarnation is. It's a small team that made a smaller end game when it comes to scope and scale. It's a one-dog RPG. That's how Game Freak described it in their event. They said, hey, look, it's a small team. We're working on other things. A small team made this over a course of time, and it's a one-dog, one-person RPG. Okay? So maybe they should do that with Pokemon, and then people will be happy. That's all I said. I made a joke. So, chill on the damage control stuff, brother. Let's see here. PlayStation Spanish content creator said that I mentioned earlier, said Sony consoles, PS3, PS4 onwards in Japan are niche hardcore gamers, while Nintendo appeal to everybody. Well, yeah, that's the truth. PS4, PS3 are more smaller, and in Japan they appeal to everybody now. Nintendo. They appeal to hardcore gamers and all that, so yeah. I don't want Xbox to stop making consoles. I want PS to monopolize the game industry. There you go. What do you think Nintendo should focus on, knowing that other companies will be more involved in handheld, unlike Switch 1 duration when the device was almost flying solo? Really, they should just make their games. You know, don't get out of their element. You don't need to worry about what other people are doing. You just got to worry about what you're doing. As long as you put out banger games and the big franchises, you should be okay. That's how the system's going to sell. I think that Nintendo set themselves up pretty well working with NVIDIA. They've got, obviously, DLSS. They've got a pretty solid system overall. So I think really what they need to do is just focus on the games. The games and the content are going to be what makes you sell well. you know, because there's other handheld PCs that are significantly more powerful, and those are getting absolutely blasted by the Nintendo Switch 2 when it comes to sales. Like Steam Deck, well, that's not more powerful, but even the Switch 1. Switch 1 was way weaker than Steam Deck. Switch 1 absolutely obliterated the Steam Deck, and they were on the market for years now. Steam Deck's been out since what, 2021, 2022? So it's been multiple years on the market now between Switch 1 and between Steam Deck, and Switch 1 absolutely obliterated it, just like pounded it to a pulp. And then Switch 2 came out and outsold Steam Deck instantly. So like they've got to focus on the content. That's what's going to be so important. That's why I said, hey, look, the bad PR stuff, like the $80 games and things like that, that stuff's, you know, like, in my opinion, I wish that they changed that. Because I think if you remove some of that stuff, you remove the Mario Kart, just put that down to 70, maybe you make a couple $60 games here and there, and it's like, you know, Mario Tennis, make that like 60 instead of 70. Those are easy dubs, you know, but it's their business, I get it, that's what they want to do, but those are easy dubs to help, you know. But I do think that really just focusing on the content, that's going to be what's important. Make sure that you get out your next Mario game, your next Zelda game, your next Pokemon game, Smash Brothers. All these things are what help push the Switch 1 to be the best-selling Nintendo system of all time. And that's what's going to help push the Switch 2 potentially, you know, get to somewhere near the Switch 1 or even near like the Wii or something like that, right? Exclusives and third party. Exclusives and it's the games. Nintendo has to also support other developers that are making games on their platform, so make sure that you have good pipeline, good word, good you know, feedback when there's issues with the development. For example, Ubisoft and Nintendo are working on ways for, you know, for DLSS pipelines and things like that. So just like work on focusing to make the system even better. You know, maybe give developers options to maybe not use game chat, right? And have it to where you know, maybe you can disable game chat for better performance. So things like that are all going to help throughout the course of the life of the Switch 2. Let's see, Beast in Reincarnation is not even entirely developed by Game Freak. It's mostly outsourced. Did they confirm that in the video, DJ King, that it's mostly outsourced for Beast of Reincarnation? Because like, did they confirm that? Best wedges in the score, darts hit with limit 7 darts was 8 darts. Players OJ beat wedges? People talk about like darts? I haven't played darts in forever. I don't know my score and all that, you know. Yeah, Elias, you missed the Grifter Rose session. We kind of just laid in a little bit. So yeah. Let's see. Is this comparison unfair? The tech transition from N64 to GameCube is similar from Switch 1 to Switch 2. Let me answer just a bit.
Been out shopping in preparation for a big snowstorm this weekend.
Oh, yeah,
had the stream in the background but haven't gotten a chance to share my opinion. Screw these lying bums. LMAO. Can you play some Mario Wonder music? Looking forward to it again.
Yeah. Mario, what that new the Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition looks awesome. It looks super sharp and clean, man. It looks like little toys running around. Like little Happy Meal toys or something like that, like high end. It looks really nice. Mario Wonder. You still want some Mario Wonder music? Thank you so much, Party Man. Thank you for the $5 donor. 126 on the combo. We are going even further, baby. OJ. Oh, FF7 remake. I don't remember what my best score was in FF7 remake. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember what it is, just because it was so long ago. So I don't remember. I seen you playing Madden the other night. What did you think of the Switch 2 version? It's better than what I thought it was. I bet it was better than what I thought it was. And you know, I'm coming around to maybe picking it up. But yeah, it played okay. It didn't seem too bad. I know they've had a bunch of updates to make it better, but yeah, it actually played. It was fun. It was fun. I couldn't even beat the Seahawks or the Rams in the game. So I'm bad, but I'm still just learning all like my plays back and everything because I was using like a new playbook, you know, and all that. So I haven't played Madden in like a decade plus, you know. So, but no, it was fun. I was able to. I got smoked by the Seahawks, but then I realized the reason why I got smoked too is I didn't have none of my players. It was updated towards the current rosters, so like Kittle and, you know, and Fred Warner and all my guys were out. So I put them back in, but I didn't play a game. And I was gonna play another game, but the time trial ran out. So yeah, it's like whatever. But yeah, I think I might pick it up. Like when I see it super cheap, I think I might pick it up and play some play some games. But no, it was fun. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. You know anything about how much Mario Kart World sold physically? I haven't seen any reports on that. I'm honestly curious as someone who loves the game. I don't know how much. I mean, there was one report at the beginning, but it's old at this point. I'm happy limited run games starting to do Switch 2 physical games. That's awesome. Yeah, me too. Me too. Jose Ball guy said Pokemon looks like new Snap. Didn't I? First of all, he doesn't know what it looks like, and second, I don't think he knows what he looks like. And second of all, that's what I said that they should target. They should target somewhere between like a Switch 1 game like Pokemon New Snap. So if they did that with better resolution and better frame rate, you know, well, the game runs at 60. But if they do that with 60 and 1440p, then it's gonna look great. And like I said, good art. If it has good art, that level of detail plus, you know, 60 FPS, I think people are gonna be happy with that Pokemon game. I think the graphics are gonna be, oh, okay, that's acceptable. That's better. So we agree Chris String is a grifter now. Listen. It's complicated with him. I don't think he's a grifter in the same vein as the guys that you know who I'm talking about that are grifters. I don't think he's that. No.
Nope, I'm going to ride that one. Even in Madden, 49ers got cooked. Okay, that is all rolling on the floor laughing.
I did. I got freaking bodied by the Seahawks. I got absolutely destroyed. I got destroyed by the Rams too. I got destroyed by the Rams as well. They both cooked me. It was just like the last two games between the Rams and the Seahawks. It was both cookers. But then again, I'm over here yelling at Kyle Shanahan. I'm like, dude, I can't even beat the Seahawks and the Rams in Madden. I have no reason to be upset. These players are trash. My corners, oh my gosh, my linebackers and my corners, Lenore was okay. But everybody else was getting belt to the, like, Jackson Smith and Jigba absolutely burned me. Puka Nakua destroyed me. I can't even beat them in Madden, bro, on All-Pro. So I am no longer mad at the Niners this year. I'm gonna give them a pass because with that, because remember, my roster was updated. I didn't have Ayuk and Kittle and Warner and Bosa. I didn't have all my guys. It was the updated roster. Like, it was literally the night after. It was the same night that the Seahawks blasted the Niners in the playoffs, okay? So I just went right into that game. Like, say, hey, you can play the playoff game right now. So it was the same exact rosters, and I got blown off the ball, bro. Like, Shanahan made chicken salad out of chicken dookie. He, like, legitimately, I couldn't coach those guys up to do anything, you know? So maybe that's just because I'm not good at Madden, but no, those players suck. Like, they're not, it's just a bunch of backups. They're all trash. Like, Siegel's fast as hell, but he's garbage. He has no awareness. Jair Brown's slow. My receivers can't get open. The only person that can do anything is Christian McCaffrey. Everybody else is trash. Nobody can get open. Nobody can get open. Purcell, nobody can get open, bro. Like, it was terrible. Absolutely terrible. So, yeah, I don't blame Shanahan for losing because in Madden, even you're overmatched even in Madden. I couldn't win on All-Pro. So yeah. Shout outs to Sidious. Thank you for the 8 months. So I don't think Christopher Drink is a grifter. I just think that he owns his own business. You know, he does his own thing, so he needs clicks sometimes. That's what I think it is, really.
Are you going to try the new Mario Wonder online on stream when it comes out?
Yeah, I probably will. Yeah, I'll probably try the new Mario Wonder on stream. Shout out to Cyber Taurus. He's extended his lead to 40. Anybody has 40 more, you give it, man. Cyber Taurus. Shout out to Justin with another $3 dono as well. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Thank you for the $3 dono. George FT with the 30 months. Sidious with the 8 months. Let's go, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, guys. Let go. Let go. Big love, guys. Oh, wait, no, this is stupid. Okay, there we go. Ayuk is done as a 49er. It's not official to my knowledge. Yeah, Kyle Shanahan already said he's done. Kyle Shanahan already said that he's done. Ayuk is done. He's done. The Niners would have been, if Ayuk was actually playing and rehabbed and got back to his full, and like the Niners didn't have so many damn injuries, they could have been a Super Bowl contender. But without Ayuk, who can actually get open, you know, without him, without Warner, who's the life and soul of the defense, without Bosa, who actually can control the defensive line and sack the quarterback, without all those guys, it's going to be tough to beat a team as good as the Seahawks, like the Ravens of the West. Now, it's going to be tough to beat the Rams. Like it's going to be very, very difficult to beat those teams. So the Niners have their work cut out for them in the offseason. They've got to draft trenches. The good news is they have a ton of picks, and they've got a lot of money, and they've got a ton of picks. So they can go out and get like a Jordan Addison. They can go out and they've got Mac Jones. They can trade him before the draft for like maybe a 3rd round pick. If somebody gets desperate, they can trade him, and they can load up on offensive linemen and defensive linemen and corners or safeties. Like they can load up on whoever they like in the draft. They can get pretty much almost anybody they want because they have so many picks. So that's the good news. The good news is that they have picks that can actually add to the team, and they've got money. They've got a lot of picks, and they've got a lot of money this year. So I like it. And if everybody can just stay healthy, they'll once again be Super Bowl favorites or contenders, you know? That's what a grifter is. I don't think Christopher Dring is a grifter. I just think that he simply sometimes needs to make a big article, so he's going to hone in and focus on what he knows is going to get clicks and views, you know? So yeah, that's what I wouldn't go as far as to calling him a grifter. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go as far as to, like, I don't think he's like the grifters that you see on YouTube that are legitimately insane, that every single week or so they're scouring Zimbabwe sales charts or something like that. Like we're not talking about those guys, or like AI slop guys that are just sitting there making videos. Like, no, I'm not gonna go that far and put him in that category. I mean, I'm not gonna go that far, but I understand what it takes to run your own business, and especially like old legacy media, you know, like websites, like, yeah, that's not fun at all. So like, I'm not giving him a pass, but it's like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. So, so yeah. It is what it is on that one. I can see your comments, Mr. Davis. What's good, man? Welcome. My case is fully favorite unless you go with pirate. Actually, costs very poor catch. I can understand why the only way to play. Well, we're not talking about piracy or anything like that. We're not talking about piracy. I'm not in favor of piracy, no. But like, I don't really care either. So it's like, if the companies are worried about piracy, make your security better. You got to do a better job on the security. So right now, Switch 2 doesn't have any piracy. Why doesn't it have any piracy? Well, because they did a really good job with security. So that's the reason why there's no piracy. So if you don't want piracy, make everything available for people to be able to buy, and make sure that you lock down your system to where it's hard to pirate. So there you go. I think new snap graphics would be cool, but I wonder if Bandai Namco engine will hold over 300 to 500 species of Pokemon. It's not about the engine, how many Pokemon you could hold in there. It has nothing to do with the engine. It has to do with like what you want to do in the game. So it's nothing to do with that's the size and scope of the game. That's not the engine. Like, these engines can hold lots of stuff. Like, you know, they can hold lots of different things. And on top of that, they can modify anything that you want. But we don't know if the next Pokemon game is using a Bandai Namco engine. We have no idea. They could be using Pokemon Scarlet and Violet engine and just modify it. They can be, you know, they can do whatever with it, right? So like, we don't know what engine it's using. Hey, what's up, Rufflemutt? Welcome, man. How you doing today? Shout outs, dude. Good to see you here. Hey, what's up, Shane? Welcome. Didn't see Nintendo Switch logos at Developer Direct. Do you think the new Fables on Switch 2 or no? Those will probably come later, just like Indiana Jones and just like Fallout and just like some of the other games. So they'll probably come later, just like some of the other games that we've already gotten that Xbox has announced. That's just people like him do things the right way and be honest. Lying or leaving out stuff is unnecessary. Otherwise, people claim you have all the info if you don't actually. Yeah, like I said, Party Man. I mean, that's... People like to disagree with me. I got some people yelling at me on Twitter and all that, but I think the fans have spoken, right? Like, I think that the fans have spoken. The way that it was framed in a way that makes it seem as if it was not the best-selling system for the month. And I know that's not what was said, but it was framed that way. If you're running down percentages and running down comparisons to Switch 1 and running down comparisons to earlier before, it would give the impression, since you didn't say it, that, oh, it must have done the worst or it must have done worse than PlayStation, or it must have done worse than maybe, you know, what the other systems are doing, or maybe there was some type of big loss, or like that's how it's framed. It's framed that way. It was not said that way, and the information was accurate to a degree, like I said, to a degree, but there was no context, there was no perspective, and I think that's the biggest problem. In sales reports or in sales breakdowns, you're supposed to give perspective. You're not supposed to hone in on one thing and say, especially if you're talking about it not doing well. And if you want to, like I said, if you want to go, you know, it stumbled, it didn't do as well, you need to provide perspective. I think that is a must, to provide perspective, so people have the right idea. Because you look at what people are saying now, they're like, wait a minute, you lied, or wait a minute, you're untruthful. And why are they saying that? They're saying that because you said that it stumbled and it didn't do well, but it did better than everybody else. It's like, think about it this way too. And this is a bad example, but I'm going to say it anyway. Think about whatever you like, whether you're into guys, girls, whatever you're into. Let's say you pulled a 7 and you go to the club, or you go to your homie's house, or whatever the case is, and they're like, oh man, Party Man only pulled a 7. He only pulled like a girl that's like a 7. Oh my gosh. But then you go to your homie's house and they're saying, oh, you only pulled a 7. Oh, that's lower than what you usually pull. That's worse than what you did before. But then you go to your homie's house and they all got 3s. And they all got 3s or 4s. And you're like, wait a minute. You're out here talking about my 7, yet you're pulling 3s, you're pulling 4s, and you talking about my 7? Boy, fudge out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it feels like to me. You out here talking, oh, stumbled, oh, did it, oh, but then we get the rest of what happened and everybody's doing dookie. They pull worse than me. Stop worrying about my girl, worry about yourself. Or at least give me perspective, like, hey, OJ, yo, your 7's lower than what you usually get, but hey, you know what, man, I got a 3 right now, so I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now it's tough in these dating streets, so I'm gonna roll with my 4 or my 5, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. You didn't provide that perspective for me. Yeah, I'm gonna cuss you out. How you worried about my 7 when you provided no perspective that you rolling around with the 4? Don't worry about my 7. I'm doing good for myself. It's tough out in these dating streets in these days, right? If that was what was happening. You know, if that was what was happening, that's what I would say. It's the same thing here. You out here making it about just one thing in a sales report where you say you've got the data and then you just left everything out. And then later we find out about it and it's like, wait a minute, hold up. But it did better than everything else. Wait a minute, hold up. It's still the fastest selling of all time. Wait a minute, hold up. It's still so, you know, it's still so good. Wait, what's going on here? We know how the economy is. We know how dating is right now at this point, right? So, yeah, it's weird, bro. It's weird. I don't have any opinion on Robert Downey Jr. returning to MCU, to be honest. I don't, you know. Says, ain't nothing wrong with the solid 6. Oh, they're 6'7". Listen, I don't care what y'all date or what. Now, I'm just saying, if you're gonna be out here saying stumbling and criticizing, I need perspective, fam. But everybody's been around one of those guys, right? Like, I've been around one of those dudes that never had a girlfriend, but talk about my girlfriend don't look good. Like back in the day, he ain't never got a girlfriend, but you out here talking about my girlfriend. And then when you do get one, there ain't nothing. You dated Stickly. What you talking about, bro? Like, don't talk about what? You out here with Stickly. So stop with the Stickly with the wig on. So stop out here with the cap. Let's see. Him saying it stumbled in the title, but not adding 2 or 3 more words to the headline, mentioning compared to Switch 1. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Compared to Switch 1 in the same time, so it's like a decade ago. It's like a decade. It's doing fine. It's doing fine considering the price, considering everything. Kind of what Party Man said to me too. He's in the industry. He should know better. I hold people to the industry to a higher standard. Some instances it's worse than just an actual grifter. Yeah. I agree, and I said that on Twitter too, Goat. I said that, listen, if he actually had all the information and he purposefully left out that information about PlayStation, about the US sales, and he didn't add that it was actually the best-selling system, which I don't know if that's NDA. I don't think it's NDA for him to say that. He said that he had access to it. He could have hinted and just said, hey guys, you know, it's in the article. He could have just said that. He could have just said it's still the best selling, or it's still sold better than everything else. It's still sold pretty much the best. That's all he had to do, but he didn't do that. We found out that with Circana, people were making that article came out January 8th. So what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? We had to find out with Circana data that, wait a minute, it was still the best selling system. The economy is down. We know it's down. Because how do we know it's down? Because Xbox and PlayStation are down. PlayStation is down despite having a $100 discount on the system. All throughout December, maybe not in every area. I'm not going to say every area, but in my area, you could get a PlayStation for the $100 off. Even into December, you could get it. You can get it for $399. Or you can get a PS5 Pro for $650 instead of $750. Like, it was all throughout December you can get that, up until Christmas. So, I'm gonna guess that a lot of other regions had that too, like at Walmart, at least I saw that. So it's like, wait a minute, you didn't mention everything else. You just honed in on Nintendo for clickbait. Wait, you didn't give us any perspective. People assumed. Literally, you can just tell by people's reactions. Maybe we shouldn't assume. It makes a, you know what, out of me and you. Maybe we shouldn't assume, but that was the inclination, especially considering in November, we know that, like, Circana said that, okay, PlayStation did a bit better or whatever, right? So we're thinking, oh, maybe it was another month right in a row, right? So, like, that's the problem that I have, man. Like that's like I said, that's a huge problem, bro. I remember Stickly? Yeah, Stickly. Yeah. Y'all don't remember some of y'all don't remember Stickly. I'll show you Stickly. He was the homie. So yeah, I had a homie. He was dating somebody. He had he was dating Stickly, bro. So it was Nickelodeon in the afternoon, bro. Nickelodeon after. It was Stickly with the wig. Stickly with the wig.
Ah! Real monsters. Help.
No.
Where's Sticks? Where's he at?
Thinking cap, please. No, not the baseball cap. The thinking cap.
The Stickly, little the stick.
Ah, okay.
Today's thumbstick is from
Yo, this show was awesome though. Nick in the Afternoon. That's some good stuff, bro. That's some good stuff. Shout out to Stickly.
Blockbuster!
Stickly, Theo Buxton, 963, New York City, New York State, 10108. Yeah, shout out to Stickly. He's like I said, he's the homie. He is the homie. It just got all loud here. Oh my goodness. All right. I once dated Plank from Ed, and Eddie. I'm on the Stickly. I know the song. Attack. Yeah. Let's see. Xbox Rogue Ally completely missed the point of a handheld gaming device. It does in some sense. Emulation is dope when used responsibly. I have a mod chip Switch OLED with emulators running English translated Yokai Watch 4. Shows a Cold Steel. Yep. Oh, man, that's awesome, actually. That's actually really cool. I wish I had that. What if the next Nintendo Direct we don't get the new 3D Mario, but we get Luigi's Mansion 4 as a final game? I think that would be pretty cool too. Especially if like the graphics were like nuts in that game. It's definitely possible. Justin with the $3 dono as well.
Here's how I know I'm definitely never going back to PC gaming. I had Yakuza 0 on PC since it released in 2018, never got far at all. Beat it within a year on Switch too. Lol.
Oh man. Yeah. That's what, dude, like I said, I've had a bunch of games on PC too, and I just said, yeah, I'm good. I am good. 80s, 90s Nickelodeon with Chef Kiss. 90s Nickelodeon was legitimately OD. It was unmatched in creativity and excitingness. Like, Nickelodeon in the 90s was just nuts. Doug, Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy. Man, it just like, I think later they had like Angry Beavers, Cat Dog, I think like, was it Rocket Power, Eliza Thornberry, the Wild Thornberries, like just crazy. I mean, although I don't like those later shows as much, but people like them. But yeah, the beginning, like the early 90s lineup of like Doug, Ren and Stimpy, Rugrats, Rocco's Modern Life. Oh my goodness, just freaking insane lineup. Like, I don't think the 2000s beats it. Like, 2000s is good, but nah, I don't think it beats early 90s. Nickelodeon is unmatched in my opinion. Unmatched. 2000s Nickelodeon is good too. Like, what's 2000? Like, was Codename Kids Next Door? Was that Cartoon Network? Or was that Nickelodeon? I think that was Cartoon Network, right? Yeah, Hey Arnold was 96. So Hey Arnold was 95 or 90. I think it's 96. So like Hey Arnold came a little bit later, but yeah, that lineup is nuts. Like, I got goosebumps. I got chills, goosebumps, just even thinking about Hey Arnold. That show's goated, bro. So yeah, Hey Arnold, Doug, Cat Dog, you know, yeah, all those, Ren and Stimpy, all those shows just super good, man. So super good. Yeah, Legends of the Hidden Temple, Salute Your Shorts, was it Global Guts? Like, just crazy good shows. Crazy. All Real Monsters, yeah, Rocco's Modern. It's over. Like, those were all 90s shows. Like, right there. Like, All Real Monsters. Here's the real list, bro. The real list is Ren and Stimpy, Rugrats, Doug, All Real Monsters, Rocco's Modern Life, Hey Arnold. Those 6 shows are legit the greatest. Those, like, that right there, those 6 can't be touched, in my opinion. Those 6 are so good. Such good writing and good shows. Like, such good stuff, man. Such good stuff. Those 6 shows were incredible. Angry Beavers is a little bit of a tier down, but yeah, Angry Beavers is good. Cat Dog is okay. Like I said, Wild Thornberries, Rocket Power, those are all kind of like out of the tier that I talked about. Like, Rocco's Modern Life is like, some people really like Rocco's Modern Life and some people don't like it as much. But it's like, it's just depends. But I would say, like, obviously Rugrats, Hey Arnold, All Real Monsters, and Ren and Stimpy are like super top tier. Like, you can't really beat those 4. Like, it's hard to beat those 4, you know. Pete and Pete, Alex, those are live action, but yes, those are all in the Nickelodeon 90s. So like, they have their live action. Clarissa Explains It All, you know, yeah, Pete and Pete, Secret World of Alex Mack. Like, all those shows are, you know, a little bit of a separate category, but yes, those were all really good. Pete and Pete, like, I'll be honest, it was hard for, like, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it because, like, I just didn't understand, like, the type of humor. It was kind of like dry. I mean, I don't mean offensive, but kind of like white person humor. And when I was younger, I didn't understand as much because I didn't have as much experience, you know? So when I got older and I started, like, getting more life experience with different types of people, Pete and Pete made sense. But both my brother and me, we both didn't really understand Pete and Pete when it came out. I just didn't understand the show because, like I said, I didn't have as much experience, you know, with different types of people. But as I got older, I went back and watched, like, when I was in like high school and later, I went back and watched Pete and Pete, and I was like, okay, this is actually funny because I had way more experience with different types of people when I got older. But when I was younger, I didn't as much, you know. So I didn't understand Pete and Pete, but I understand it now. And it's funny. It's good. It's good. Let's see here. Salute Your Shorts. Salute Your Shorts is fun. I used to watch it all the time. Yeah. My Brother and Me. Yeah, My Brother and Me was good. The thing about, like, black comedies that I felt that, like, could translate to anybody is because black comedies were so kind of, like, outrageous. They didn't have dry humor. Pete and Pete is dry humor, you know? Like, I understood Clarissa Explains It All way better than I understood Pete and Pete. And those two shows were on around the same time, right? Pete and Pete is a certain type of dry humor that just, you know, isn't in common with, like, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or, like, you know, or like My Brother and Me or like any of the black sitcoms that we had back in the day, right? It wasn't like that. So for me, I didn't understand Pete and Pete. Like, it's hard. It's like Friends. I didn't understand Friends. I didn't understand Pete and Pete. I didn't understand Seinfeld. I didn't understand none of those, like, dry humor type of things because I just didn't understand it. But when I got older and I was around different people, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. You know, like, and it was funny. Now Seinfeld's funny to me, and Pete and Pete's good, and all those shows are good to me now. But back then, I didn't understand it. Yeah, it's very dry humor. And like I said, when I was younger growing up, black comedies were not dry humor. Black comedies were like okay, here's the joke. Or if it was like a white family, it's like, here's the joke. Full House, Step by Step, Clarissa Explains It All. Even like Alex Mack isn't a comedy, but when they did do comedy, like, Alex Mack, it was all very obvious. Oh, here's the joke. And Seinfeld does that too, but it's not as dry, So I just didn't understand those shows. I was just thinking about, like, how do people watch this? I don't get it. Nick with the $1 dono says, shoutouts to Ghost of Yotei being third best-selling game on the PS5 last year in the US, even though even outsold COD, which is crazy, which they tried to cancel the game and failed at it. Ghost series is going strong. It outsold COD. The third best. What were the two games that sold above it? Yeah, I understood Napoleon Dynamite because I was later. I was older when Napoleon Dynamite came out. But like, yeah. Thank you for the $1 dono though, Nick. I appreciate that, fam. Shout outs. Yeah, Ghost of Yotei did good. So once again, the grifters. I mean, we can talk about the grifters on that side too. Like, they were trying to make it seem as if this game was flopping left and right. It's not. It's doing okay. It's doing good. Fairly Odd Parents is also good too. That's a good show. My Cousin Skeeter. I thought it was okay. I thought it was all right with My Cousin Skeeter. Yeah. Battlefield 6 and 2K. Oh, okay. All right. By the way, what kind of music do you like? I like video game music. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? Shout outs to Kel Mitchell. Let's go. Oh, man. Let me text my sister real quick, guys. Seinfeld and Friends were never funny. Seinfeld and Friends, you gotta dig a little bit, but it's definitely funny. It's not everybody's type of humor, but like, it's funny when like you like I said, experience different types of people, because everybody has somebody. Like I said, if you've been around a lot of different type of people, everybody has somebody that they know that's like one of those guys, like the Kramer type guy and all that. Like, everybody has somebody. So it's funny once you experience things. Like I said, I didn't find it funny until after college. Like, that's how long it took me to do like different experiences, to have different types of roommates, to be around more multicultural. It's like when I was growing up, it was like just like a lot of just like black and Mexican, right? But when I got into high school, a lot more white people, a lot more different types of people, a lot more Asian people, a lot more just different types of people. So therefore, I started to understand a little bit more of like humor and how they would joke in certain times. And then I started watching some of these shows like with my white friends. And like they would like tell me, oh, this is the reason why, or they would act like some of these people, So I was like, oh, okay, But all of my white friends, they all understood like the black sitcoms very easily, because once again, it's very obvious. Like Fresh Prince is very obvious what's funny. They got the laugh tracks and everything, which Seinfeld does too. But once again, dry humor. So they all understood it. So we could watch anything together. But for me, it just took a little bit more time because, like I said, how I was raised, and like I'm not from I was born here in America, but my family were immigrants. I'm first generation, so I grew up in a traditional Nigerian household. So that type of humor was not like, I didn't hear that from anybody. None of my all my mom's friends that came over, they were all African. They were all different parts of Africa, or I hung out with all African kids, like or just regular black kids or whatever. So for me, I didn't have anybody to give me that type of humor or like to hear it. Like, I didn't understand it, until I got older. I begged my parents to get me on Nick Arcade. I wanted to go on Nick Arcade so bad, and I had no idea how you get on those shows. But I think I wanted to get on Global Guts. Or what's that? Global Guts, yes. And then like the Legends of the Hidden Temple. That show, like I wanted to get on like the temple show, like where you go and like you have to, and like that guy might grab you in the thing. Like I wanted to like the Global Guts stuff, like the athletic, like climbing and all. Like I wanted to do that stuff so bad back in the day, but I had no idea how to get on the show, man. I had no idea. Shout outs Nady Nay, man. So yeah. Seinfeld is funny when you're exactly. It's funny when you get older. It's funny when you get Friends and Seinfeld are much funnier when you get older. Well, maybe not Friends, but Seinfeld is definitely much funnier when you get older. So yeah, Double Dare, all of those shows, man. So yeah, in college you meet everybody that's like every type of archetype on like every single comedy show, you know, like college you meet. I've met the Fresh Prince type of brother. I've met the guy that was like Goo from My Brother and Me. I've met the Urkel type guy. Like I've met every single type of person from every single comedy show. Like I've met the Kramer white dude, you know, like just crazy. I've met every single type of person, and it's great. So then you start understanding the humor a bit more, you know? I'm very happy that I've been able to experience like a lot of different types of people over the course of, you know, my life so far. Office Space was the best comedy of all time. Nerd, Granger rapping star in his car sees a black homeless guy. It's like I never saw that movie. But the thing about it, Jackson, is that I saw somebody put a link on Twitter, and that was the first time ever, and I thought it was funny. So maybe I'll actually check out that movie. But even like a show like The Office or whatever, that's the type of show that I would have never understood or liked when it came out. I didn't really think about it. But then I watched it later, and I thought it was hilarious, you know. But I saw episodes of it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know what's up with this show. But then later I came back like, after I worked in like an office. I was like, oh, this is totally that show. Like, after I worked like in sales in an office, I was like, yeah, we got the tall, you know, white guy that everybody wants to date, you know what I'm saying? We have like the girl that's like this. We have like I guess I was the silly black guy, I guess. To them, they're thinking the other way around. Oh man, like we have like, there's always like every type of person, man. There's always the girl that's promiscuous chick that's running around. Oh my goodness, man. Like, The Office became incredibly funny after my first, when I was working at the car sales place, because it was literally just like it. It was like literally just like it. Tall white guy, they got all the ladies. Like I said, the two ladies that were fighting over the tall white guy. Oh my gosh, there was even an Indian chick. That was like that too. It was great, man. It was great. I liked that job. It was fun. It was fun. It was a fun job. Yeah, I'm gonna check out Office Space, because when I saw that, what's it called? When I saw that post on Twitter, I was like, oh, this movie looks freaking great. I want to watch it. Big Bang Theory. You know what? My sister was into Big Bang Theory. I never got into Big Bang Theory that much, but when I see episodes of it, I do think that it's funny. I do, like, but I never got into it, but I do think that it's funny. I do think that it's a good show. But you know, I never watched all the episodes and all of that. But yeah, I think it's good. But like they have like a lot of nerd jokes in there, so it's easy. But Big Bang Theory is very easy to follow with it. It's the same as like a black comedy, but not. It's like, here's the joke, here's the next joke, here's the upcoming joke, here's this. Like, it's so, and that's great. That's cool, right? It's fun. But yeah, since it has like a lot of like video game and nerd stuff in there, I can relate to it very easily, you know. But like, yeah, my sister, she loved Big Bang. Not my oldest sister, my second to oldest sister. Because I have two older sisters. She really liked Big Bang Theory, but I don't really talk to her much anymore. So yeah. How I Met Your Mother. I never got into How I Met Your Mother. I do like the Doogie Howser guy. I think he's cool. But I never got into How I Met Your Mother. I've seen episodes, but I just never. I mean, and it seemed funny for what it was, but I just never got into it. Never got into it. Let's see here. 2.5 minutes ago. Once again, another show that I realized when it came out, the jokes set themselves up, but I just wasn't into it. I watched it later, and I still kind of wasn't into it, but like I get it. Like I get why people like 2.5 Men. Like at one point, 2.5 Men was the highest, best reviewed, highest sitcom. They're making like $2 million per an episode or something crazy like that. Yeah, like I remember like the euphoria over 2.5 Men, and then like the whole controversy with Charlie Sheen, and they brought in they brought in, what was it, Ashton Kutcher to replace him, or something like that. So yeah, I remember. I said, yeah, I remember the show, and I remember watching some episodes. I just never really got into it, but I understand why it's really good though. Like, I get it, you know. Let's see here. When I was an engineering student, The Big Bang Theory was relatable. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I would see a live reaction to Office Space. Maybe, I don't know. That'd be like a copyright situation, right? Right. So, no, I've never seen it. I've never seen Office Space. I've never seen. I need to check it out. I need to watch it. Shout outs to everybody here, man. Big love though. Combo breaks, guys. I didn't even notice. 146 on the board. We are 4 combos away from a platinum and a half. Remember, if you have questions too, you can tag me at PlayerEssence, hashtag PlayerEssence by itself. Be more than happy to answer all of your beautiful, awesome, lovely, elite ninja questions. Thank you guys so much for your support, man. And as we get back to kind of talking about this Nintendo Switch 2 stuff, should we get into Metroid? I think we should get into Metroid, right? We should get into Metroid Prime 4. We should get into some of these sales numbers for some of these games, right? Let's do that. So we've got my link here. This was the top 20 sales for the US. No digital for Nintendo sales. So what we've got here is that we've got Ball and Gun. Here in the US, Ball and Gun is always the top of the top, especially when you include digital sales. So Ball and Gun gamers having a Ball and Gun good time. So Call of Duty Black Ops 7, last month it was number 1. This month it's number 1. NBA 2K, last month it was number 3. Now it's number 2. Battlefield 6, last month it was number 2. Now it's number 3. Madden is Madden. People are buying Madden. Those discounts on Madden though, you can get it for like 27 to 30 bucks. So yeah, people were snapping up Madden. That's what everyone does, bro. Everyone just, you already know by the time that the playoffs start, or like a little bit before then, Madden's gonna be like $30. So just wait and you can get it for a good price. EA Sports FC, once again, very good. Here's where it actually gets fun a little bit because it's some real games. Pokemon Legends ZA, number 6, no digital included. So if you included digital, where it was number 1 when it launched, and it's been in the top 10, top 5, top 10 sales for the eShop since it launched. Like it's not left, and I think it's actually not left like the top 5. Let me double check, because I know it's actually doing really good. Let me double check on that real quick, and then we'll get right back to this, guys. Okay. So yeah, Pokemon Legends ZA doing really good overall. And then right underneath that is Metroid Prime 4, which once again, I have no idea what this means. This could mean, 200,000 units. This could mean 300,000 units. This could mean whatever. I'm not sure what it means, but there's no digital included in this either. So right now at this point, if you're looking at the sales numbers with Nintendo Switch 2, yeah, Pokemon Legends is number 5. So it's held like its top sales charts for a while. And on Switch 1, it's number 2. So people still buy stuff on Switch 1 as well. Right now, though, out of all the games in the eShop, number 1 is Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. That's number 1. FF7 Remake Intergrade. So, obviously, it was a good idea for Square Enix. And Mr. Hamaguchi himself, I have it right here, guys. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is number 1 on the eShop. Mr. Hamaguchi himself has been quote tweeting Stealth and has been saying, hey, look, thank you guys. He's been, man, this guy is marketing. Hamaguchi is marketing his butt off. He's like, oh, I never go anywhere without my Switch 2. And hey, guys, oh, I'm so happy that it's number 1. Oh, this is what you like. He is connecting with the fans. He flew to freaking America to do like, they ain't never do this. In the Switch 1 era, Square Enix out here, bro. They were like, puss, Switch fans, scum. It's all about PlayStation. Yeah, PlayStation sales flop. So I'm not flop, but man, they didn't sell enough. All of a sudden, hey, so guys, hey, listen. I was just joking with you. Let me shine your shoe real quick. Stealth, let me. Man, Square Enix ain't never quoting no Nintendo content creator. Square Enix ain't never quoting no damn Nintendo content creator. They didn't give a damn about Nintendo. Then all of a sudden, flying to America, shining people's shoes, quote tweeting Nintendo thieves. I carry my Switch everywhere. They ain't never say that shit. No, not all of a sudden they talking about. Bro, this is crazy, bro. This is crazy. We out here getting used, man. We getting used. No, I'm joking. I'm joking and I'm like not joking. Oh my gosh. They ain't never came to Nintendo New York. That's the first, or they ain't never came to Nintendo. First time in their whole life they said they're gonna come here talk to Nintendo fans. Reminds me of that Drewski skit with the past, like the Pastor Drewski skit. The guy goes, I need my blessing, for my wife. He said, spits on. Hey, get out of here. Wait, how much you donate? Oh my gosh, bro. But yeah, Final Fantasy is #1 on there. And like I said, listen, we all knew what was gonna happen. We all knew what was going down. Like, yes, PlayStation is gonna be top for Final Fantasy. That's not gonna change. That's not gonna change. PlayStation is still gonna be the #1 place where people, buy Final Fantasy worldwide. Now, maybe not in every region down the line, but worldwide, #1. And I get it, man. Like FF7 Remake and Rebirth, it's actually phenomenal on PS5 Pro. It's great on PS5 Pro. So that's not changing. But like I said, you just need to add in some other things to help with the success. Like Final Fantasy, there's no reason why Final Fantasy should not be a top, 10 million seller. Like there should be every major new Final Fantasy game that reviews decently should sell 10 million units. That should be like the bare minimum. That's what it was before in the past. It was like, okay, every single Final Fantasy is like 7-8 million off the top. It's just not getting there anymore. So I think that they just need Nintendo to kind of come in and help out a little bit. All right, take it easy, Shane. Thanks for coming out to the stream. I just think all those Sony money hats is why they never mentioned it before, and their multi-plat they can cater to Nintendo gamers. I don't know if that's the case, because that's what we said about Atlas, and it was just revealed that Atlas was just like, nah, we just wanted to be on PlayStation. So it's like people would say that, oh, it's Persona, it was exclusive. They did it. It's like they didn't do anything. And yes, if you're talking about FF7 remake and FF7 the remake or FF7 or FF7 remake and FF16, yes, there were some money hats, but even before that, they rode with PlayStation because that's what was making them money. And I get it. Like I'm not even sitting here. That was a smart idea. In the PS1 era, Nintendo did not give them a good choice. So it made sense to ride with PlayStation then. Like it made sense to do exclusive because you're trying to make, you need data, you need space for a big RPG. N64 does not have enough space. So Square Enix pleaded, at least according to the reports, Square Enix desperately pleaded with Nintendo to make CDs. Like, please do not do cartridges. Please. They tried. Everybody tried to tell them, but Mr. Yamauchi, he was not having it. He was not having it with the load times. He was not having it with the medium, with what you can do. Obviously, like there was just like a lot of problems like with CDs. So he just said, nah, we're good. And that ruined the relationship. So then they said, yeah, we need to go somewhere that supports our vision and what we want to do. And that's where they went. And that made sense. Like it made sense for the PlayStation 1. It made sense for the PS2. Obviously it started going multi-platform in the PS3 era with FF13, but like it made sense beforehand, based off the sales. Like it made complete sense. To even do like an exclusive like with Sony with FF7, like that made sense too at first. But we didn't anticipate the shift because remember, FF7, the money hat that you're talking about, right? That was in the transitional shift of PlayStation fans not wanting to play RPGs like that. Here comes Souls, right? Here comes these different types of RPGs, these different types of games. Here comes Fallout 3. Here comes Skyrim. Here comes all these different types of games that a lot of PlayStation fans and Xbox fans, and even I would say PC people, were just like, this is better. This is better than Final Fantasy. And they kind of migrated over to that. And I think that Sony and Square Enix didn't realize that, but that's kind of what happened after FF7 Remake, what happened there. Now, there's some other things with that game, but I think that's kind of what happened. Especially like when you go over straight up to PlayStation 5, there's no PS4 to help supplement you, but the transition was already happening in the PS4 era. And then in the PS5 era, it went full on, where a lot of those people that would play a Final Fantasy game probably aren't gonna play it on PlayStation, don't have the system, or playing on Nintendo at this point. Especially if you're talking about Japan, a lot of those guys transition just the Nintendo or just playing Nintendo stuff, or not playing games, or just moving on to something else, or just not playing Final Fantasy, or just not caring, or whatever the case is, right? Or just not wanting what they were selling. Because Final Fantasy 15 did great. That did really good. So it wasn't in that era either. It was a little bit after that. It was the transition from PS4 to PS5. That's really what caused that. And I think it was also longtime fans just kind of looked and saw what they were offering and saying, well, wait a minute, I don't want that, you know, to a degree. So I think that's what happened. But once again, when you expand your audience, when you expand to Nintendo, and you expand to Xbox, and you expand to PC, then you can bring out a lot more people and say, okay, well, maybe I'll give it a shot now. I don't play it there, but maybe I'll give it a shot down here, or maybe I want portable play, or maybe I want, you know, all Xbox play anywhere, or, you know, whatever the case is, right? For whatever reason. So I think that's what happened there. But I mean, I don't think you're wrong in terms of what you said, you know. So yeah. Let's see. Sony and Nintendo always interacted as a symbiosis, in my opinion. To a degree, yeah. Before Switch 2, there wasn't really a viable option, but exclusively deals could have still killed any potential Switch 2 versions. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's also, like, you know, partly Nintendo's fault too, right? Like, they're not offering a system that's going to be able to do certain things. Like, I don't think anybody, you know, Bethesda said that they didn't even go up to them before, like, the Wii U wasn't, like Nintendo didn't consult anybody. They just made a system. And the third-party developers made it very clear after the PS3 and the Xbox 360, you don't do that. Like, the third-party developers, Japanese and Western, made it very clear that, no, you don't just make a system. Pete Hines from Bethesda flat out just said it. Like, if you go back to a bonus round from, like, 2012 or something, Pete Hines, which obviously was very different, you know, the same guy that was saying, hyping up the Switch 1, Pete Hines was talking to, I just gotta say, this is the type of knowledge, by the way, that you're not gonna get from a grifter. They don't know this because they don't care. They don't study. So I'm gonna just put this out there. But anyway, Pete Hines was on a bonus round a decade plus ago, talking with Jeff Keighley, where they used to have it to, like, they all have some chairs and, like, they point like the camera at them, and they all talk about gaming. Like, it was a great show. You can go back and watch it. It's called Bonus Round. It was from GameTrailers.com, right? And Pete Hines is there. He's the Bethesda guy, and he says they were asked about the Wii U, right? And Pete Hines says this: if you're just gonna make, this is a paraphrase, if you're just gonna make a system and tell us to make games on it, my answer is no. You've got to do what Microsoft and Sony do and let us know beforehand and fill us in so we know what to expect, so we know what technologies and what to do with our engines. You can't just put something out and demand games to be put on there. Now, he didn't say that Nintendo said that specifically to them or imply that. He just said that's his impression because he knew nothing about it. They were not briefed or informed or anything. The system just comes out. There's no Bethesda games on it. They're like, well, no, we're not going to do anything. You didn't tell us anything. So no, my answer is no. So with the Switch 1, Nintendo did change their philosophy. They went to Capcom, they went to Bethesda, they went to the companies. They took that feedback in stride and made sure that, hey, look, this might not be the most powerful what we're doing, but this is our vision. Our vision is to bump the install base up. We'll handle it. We'll hold things down. We'll get a few third parties here and there on board, like Bethesda, like whatever, you know what I'm saying? We'll get a few different things. And when we blow up, don't worry, y'all be right there. And that's what happened. They blew up and we got Borderlands and we got a bunch more Western support afterwards, because you got to sell the system first. So Nintendo sold the system on first party games. So, you know, and now at this point, it's completely different. Nintendo now consults third party developers, like, hey, this is what we're thinking. This is what, this is what's going on with our system. What do you think? Right? They get their feedback, so it's different now. So yeah. So I think that, to Jackson's point, to what he's saying there, Nintendo didn't do a good job of making a system with the feedback, consulting some of these companies that are going to be making graphically intense games for it. They did that with the Switch 2. They told them, hey, we think this is, like Ubisoft, they're like, hey, look, we think our engines run like this is how it's going to work. And you see that partnership continuing on even after the system's released. So yeah, Nintendo's actually working with them now, instead of just saying, here's the system, make the games for it, whatever. Like that doesn't work anymore. Let's see, honestly though, no, I mean, at the time, I'll be honest, I didn't take it well. But I was inexperienced. Okay? I'm experienced now. At the time, I didn't take it well. Because I did love Bethesda games back then, and I played them on, on Xbox. Like, I beat Fallout 4, I beat Fallout 3. Fallout 4 wasn't out yet. I beat Fallout 3, I beat Skyrim, or I played Skyrim. I played Bethesda games, I liked them. So I was like, oh yeah, it would be cool to have like Wii U gamepad, maps and all. Like, oh yeah, I'll buy it again. That's what I was thinking. I'll buy it again. And no, the answer is no. And he was right. At the end of the day, he was right. Makes sense. Yeah, developer kits essential to have games on your console. Yeah, I mean, it's not even just development kits. It's like, hey, like, what are you looking at for RAM? Like, quality of RAM, speed of RAM, how much RAM are you gonna have? Like, hey, we advise this. Like, you're gonna go with 4 or 5, or maybe 5, or how about, let's just say 4. How about you go with like 9 or something like that? Like, you need, or how about you go with like 10 or whatever, right? So it's like you need to consult with what's going on. Metroid Prime 4 in at number 7. Donkey Kong Bonanza in at number 9. Kirby Air Riders in at number 18. Super Mario Galaxy plus Mario Galaxy 2 in at number 19. That actually jumped into the top 20. Spider-Man. Got a Spider-Man sighting over there at the bottom. Let's go. Ghost of Yotei. Last month, number 7. This month, number 10. Sonic Racing Crossworlds coming in 13-13, baby. 13-13, baby. So that's good. Pokemon Legends, same spot though. 6-6. 6-7. 6-7. So yeah. The difference between Japan and North America, top games sold is crazy. We never beaten the ball and gun gamer allegations. I mean, yeah, it's ball and gun. Yeah. The thing about it is that the casual audience is ball and gun gamers. Like, Nintendo's ball and gun is like Mario, Zelda, or whatever. Mario Party, Pokemon, like that's their ball and gun. Which is, oh, everybody plays that. That's what people buy the system for. So like, but yeah. But Xbox has the same thing too though. It's like Xbox has the same thing. I don't think PC does. PC has, what is it, mouse and keyboard gamers? Not ball and gun. But no, like, yeah, PlayStation, that's the default de facto for ball and gun games. That is the ball and gun game central. And Sony wouldn't have it any other way. Sony wouldn't have it any other way. I think Nintendo probably wants this too. Nintendo would probably want more like the high-end ball and gun games. Nintendo wants Madden. I think Nintendo and EA worked really hard to get Madden on there. Because Madden runs like putrid, the plague, rat-infested dookie water on a Steam Deck. It does not run great. So I'm pretty sure that they actually have to optimize that thing to actually run it. Because like, Madden is it's an unoptimized, power-hungry, resource hog of a game. It is not it's easy to do. And I know people think that way because it's the same game every single year, but it is a beast of a resource hog on Xbox. It just is. Just based on the AI and how it works and like coverage. Like, just doing a simulation football game, there's a lot of calculation that you have to do. It's not like it's, here's this pattern that this enemy does. Oh, they slice here. They slice here. They do. Like, Madden is like complex AIs of defensive players based off of intricate stats, and every single player based on all these different stats from strength, speed, accuracy, power. They have all these different things that can happen at any point. You need to manipulate all these things all at one point or all at any time, because football's complex. It's a very complex game, and it's very complex in how they code that game. So Madden's just like a resource hog. It just, you don't think this should be a game that takes up a lot and does all this stuff, but it is. So I think that they actually worked them hard to get that game running on the Switch too.
PC has Steam sales. Lol. Also, I don't think I have ever seen Nintendo have this good of a relationship with third parties.
This is the best that it's ever been by a metric country mile. By a sweet home Alabama. By a sweet home Alabama. Like a big old country Alabama mile. This is the best that it's ever been. And I said this on Twitter. People call me names and say that you're damage control, and it's like, that's not it, fam. Like, you gotta look at the facts. Look at the facts. Look at the third-party games that are coming out. What Nintendo system? If you're talking about third-party support, you just gotta start with the basics. Madden, Call of Duty, FIFA, what Nintendo system can you say in the last any time had Madden, Call of Duty, FIFA, NBA 2K, and actually had them in somewhat decent quality? Call of Duty's coming, but Madden's actually somewhat decent. It's not the best, but it's somewhat decent. FIFA's actually somewhat decent now. NBA 2K is somewhat decent. Like, the last system that had it was the Wii U. And the Wii U only got like 1 year of it. Then they just like stopped making them on the Wii U. It got Call of Duty for 2 years. It got Madden for 1 year. It got FIFA for 1 year. I think it might have got NBA 2K for 2 years or 1 year. I don't remember. But like that was the last time. And even then, those versions were not great. And those versions were, people didn't want to play them. And they stopped getting them. So they got Call of Duty Ghosts, and then it was done. So this is by far the best in terms of that standard ball and gun gamer third-party support. This is the best that it's been. It's the best that it's been. Yeah, WWE. I don't think the Wii U did not get a WWE game. It did not get, like, I don't think it did, right? So yeah, it got, and like the WWE one's probably the best one out of all the sports games. It's probably the best one. It probably runs and looks the best out of all of them. So it got a WWE game. So that's definitely good. Yeah, got a PGA game. Yep, got a PGA game. So it's got a lot of the ball and gun gamer, or the ball games at least. It needs some of the gun game. It needs some like the Battlefield, and it needs the Call of Duties. But it's got some of the ball games at least. It's just missing a few gun games. Excuse me. Mario, Zelda, Animal Crossing, Smash, Splatoon are like FIFA, or like the FIFAs. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like the standard games that everybody plays, but for Nintendo, yeah. How many sales of Metroid Prime 4 do you think will be at the end of 2025? It's hard to say, Ali, but I mean, I would say at least 1.5 to 2 million units. I would hope by around then. Switch 2 has no gun games. Splatoon, boom, that's a gun game. Bam, let's go. Bam, let's go. Splatoon, baby. Let's see. Hey, chat. Wonder is going to be my first $80 game. Do you already have the game on the Switch 1 house game? It doesn't have to be an $80 game for you. I can help you make it not be an $80 game. Facebook Marketplace that baby. Just get the cartridge. Get the cartridge used. Facebook Marketplace that baby, then just buy the $20 expansion. That'll probably be under 80 for you. If you just look on the Facebook Marketplace, or if you look on OfferUp, somebody will sell that thing to you for like $30 to $40. And then just buy the $20 upgrade. No? Okay. No? No, you don't want to do that? I mean, like, in Sony, there's big exclusive niche ones. Famicom, Detective Club, and Gravity Rush don't appeal to casual Nintendo and Sony fans. No, of course not. OJ, I want the Switch 2 cover, that's why. Yeah, you want the Switch 2 cover, all you gotta do, listen, you got like a Rite Aid, or like, you got like a Walgreens close to you, all you gotta do is, just when the game comes out, like, there'll be like a full printed cover, like front and back. Just gotta do it. You just gotta do some arts and crafts. OJ, I was saying no, I don't already have the game. Yeah, you just go get it on Facebook Marketplace. Just get the game, and just go to get some nice textured paper from like Walgreens, and just print it out and cut it. It'll look just as nice. And just switch the box art out. That's all you gotta do. Boom, under $80 right there. That'll be under $80. Let me see how much people are offering for that. Hoskins like, I'm not doing all that crap, OJ. There's no way in hell I'm doing all that. So, no way I'm doing all that. Justin with the $3 dono, let's go.
Just buy the empty Switch 2 edition box on eBay.
Do they sell the empty boxes? Do they really? I didn't know they sell the boxes. They might, yeah, they might do that. Etsy sells high quality game cover arts printed. Ah, there you go. Go on Etsy. You can buy Etsy high quality cover art. If that's all you want, just swap out the cover art. Just get the game used, swap out the cover art. Bam. There you go, baby. While I just go buy the game outright. I'll give it a buck. I might just go buy the game outright. I'm over here sending this man on an Animal Crossing quest. I'm out here, like these Boy Scouts, we're out here cutting things up and arts and crafts and glue and stickers. Remember arts and crafts in school? I'm out here making them do arts and crafts and stickers and glue and little popsicle sticks and gluing them onto the back of little trees and coloring and painting. And well, I just go buy the game like, oh yeah, man, no problem. I want the box art too. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Let's see here. Let's see here. OJ, I grew up poor, eating fish sticks and hamburger helper for dinner, so that's ghetto for even me. I know, me too. I grew up poor, eating fish sticks, corn dogs, fish sticks, hot dogs, hamburger helper. You know, I guess poor America poor, because somebody said, you think that's poor? Yes. Some other countries, it's worse than that. The funny thing is that even in like Nigeria, it's like a very poor country, man. But man, I'll be damned if anybody goes hungry, bro. Food's cheap in that country, bro. Ooh, you can get yourself a lot of food in that country for cheap. Now, obviously, like the high-end food, that's gonna cost you more. But you want some like suya, street corner suya, it's $1. It's $1. Not even that. It's like 50 cents. For like a whole thing of for like a whole little pack of suya, like a little like newspaper pack of suya. 50 to 75 cents, man. It's good stuff. It's good. They might have raised the prices now though. I went like 4 years ago. So, but yeah. Let's see here. Crafts with PlayerEssence, yeah. By the time you finish, it's $100 and ugly. Yeah, I know, seriously. You cut the box art, it's like cutting into like you cut too much on one side, it's all uneven and stuff like that. Bella Beal Park, you cut off some of the letters on accident. Oh man. Trust the Gorton's Fisherman, yeah, man. That I grew up on just having like it's straight up, bro. It just said it didn't even have a brand on there, bro. I think it just said hot dog, like. Bro, it didn't even have the ingredients. It didn't have like the nutritional facts. It's like that stuff needs to be like it needs to be on there. It's like FDA or whatever. But like it just said hot dog. It didn't even like you don't even know what it was, bro. Nah, I'm joking. There was a brand, but I forgot what brand my mom would buy. But yeah, she would just buy the hot dogs. Man, I get emotional, man. I get emotional with that because like I see how my kids and I see how my nephews and nieces are living. And I'm so happy that they don't gotta go through that shit. I'm so happy that they don't gotta go. It like makes me get all emotional, man. Cause like that's what it's about, bro. When my parents came here, like the American dream, man, it was like, yo, let's build something so our future generations don't gotta be like this. Don't gotta be like we were when I was growing up, man. So I'm so happy my boy be eating, you know, organic oatmeal and my man's got, you know, all this cool, like good food, quality food to eat and, you know, stuff, man. Like he ain't gotta do what I did. So I love that, man. But the thing about it is that I ate better than my mom did. So it got better and better each gen, you know? It got better and better each gen. I ate better than my mom did. My kids eat better than I ate. You know what I'm saying? And then like my sister ate. They got more toys. They got more stuff. They got more everything. You know, I got more stuff than my mom had, you know? Like my kids got more stuff than I had. And that's how it's supposed to just get, better and better, right? So it's working, right? It's working. But I'm happy, man. I couldn't be happier that these kids, that my nephews and my nieces are just, they don't gotta go through like when I'm like my nephew Owen, he's 7. Man, he ain't going through what I went through. I was fighting for my life We're fighting against a boy. It was like Octopath Traveler, you know, like where the big, like a big, and like you're tiny, and the dude and the boss is huge. It was like Final Fantasy. I'm fighting in the streets. I'm running from people. Man, he ain't got to do it. He ain't got to deal with all that crap, you know. Oh my gosh! I remember one time I got swung around like Bowser, like Mark. One guy was like, "Yeah, hey, you," and I was like, "What?" It's like, "Don't disrespect me. You did this." I said, "Man, shut up." This man freaking was swinging me around like Bowser, man. I was like, "Ah!" Whoa! I sent me flying like a freaking frisbee, bro. Like I was like 8 years old. Like one time I'm walking with my homie. I think I was like 10. We were just messing around. One of my friends, Dominic. I was walking around with my friend Dominic and his brother, and we're just walking around by his house, and he went like this behind like a mailbox, acting like he took something of mine, and the dude, like a big old dude that was in like high school, came out and like grabbed my friend Dominic and like lifted him up, and I'm like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? This guy's gonna kill me. He was like a big old football player with dreads. You don't never fight no big black dude with dreads. He had to have been like 17 or 18 years old. Or something like, he's probably like 16 or 17 years old. We're like 9, 10. And it's so funny. My friend Dominic, his little brother goes, "Ah," and just runs away. And I'm like, no, don't run. But he was like 5 at the time, or 5 or 6. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy, he's gonna kill us. He's gonna kill my friend. And I don't know what to do because I can't fight him. So then finally, when he just said we did nothing, he like threw him and like hit him against the mailbox. Like, it's like, bro, I had to deal with that type of stuff. Like at any point you could just get beat up for like no reason or like disrespect or any slight reason. You could just get punched or kicked or thrown, like, or smacked. Like, gotta be careful what you say. Be very careful. Oh man, so it's crazy. It says, who lied? The grifters lied about the Switch 2 sales. Because the Switch 2 it was actually the best selling system in December. The grifters tried to tell you that it was selling terrible and nobody bought it and it was doing so bad and all of this, and it ended up being the best selling system in December. So the grifters lied. Kick, punch, it's all in the mind. I grew up super poor, house in Oak Cliff, Southside Dallas, Texas, cost $18,000. Was half finished, bullet holes and gang graffiti and projects next to us. Brother almost got kidnapped out of the yard. Oof. Damn, 18,000. Yeah. It's crazy. Crazy stuff, bro. Exactly, but now you're better though. So every generation is supposed to get better, you know? I packed up a bunch of black dudes with dreads again. I was a black dude that used to have a corner. Yeah, but were they like 6, 7 years older than you? Like, this guy was definitely in high school. He had to have been at least 16 to 17 years old. He was, I mean, we were short. We were like, I was 9. I was like 4'10". This guy was definitely about like maybe 5'11", 5'10" to 5'11" for sure. So if you're 4 foot something, and somebody's like legitimately like a foot taller than you, that feels like literally like a boss battle. That feels like an insurmountable, crushing defeat. Like he had muscles. Like you can tell he played football. He had his shirt off. You can tell he played football. And he came out and he's like, "What'd you put behind there?" And grab. And I'm like, "Bro, look at the mailbox." I'm trying to. I'm like, "Hey, look at the mailbox, dude." I'm like, he didn't put anything there. He was just messing with me like he took something, you know. And the guy was like, "No, he didn't." And I was like, "No, yes, he did. Look, there's nothing there." So I tried to calm him down. Then eventually, like I said, he just like flung him and like he smacked him off the mailbox. And I'm just like, "Oh my goodness!" Like we were just chilling on a weekday, just trying to have a good time. We're just walking to the school, just gonna shoot some basketball. All of a sudden, man, up in my hood, started making trouble in the neighborhood. I got on one little fight. Straight up Fresh Prince, got on one little fight. My mom got scared. Okay. Man, it was crazy. So yeah. So he packed him up. Spanish Civil War. Ooh, 1936 to 1939. Lots of people starved to death. Hundreds of thousands of people died. It was really rough. You know, I haven't researched the Spanish Civil War much, but I think that'll be like a new video that I watch tonight, maybe. Spanish Civil War. Oh, okay. Sorry to hear about that with your grandparents. Yeah, my dad, he fought in the Nigerian Civil War. So yeah. Luckily he made it out, because if he didn't, I would not be here right now. Let's see. They all taught you. They all fought till you hit him in the head with the 4x4 in the back. I never hacksaw Jim Duggan to anybody. No, I never did all that. I didn't roll with the hacksaw Jim Duggan. Big love though, double platinum. We've got about 15 minutes left on the stream, guys. We are going to get me your questions. If you have questions, comments, whatever the case is. Big love to everybody.
Even
further than beyond, hit that like button. And if you have, like I said, if you have any questions, if you have any music that you want to play, drop a dono of any amount. I'll play the track, and like get your video game questions in too. If you have some questions about the sales numbers or about anything else, let me know. Let me know what you guys think. So yeah, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Let's go. My grandfather was a veteran in the Vietnam War. Oh, really? That's awesome, party man. Well, maybe not so awesome for his mental health, but it's proud that, you know, he was able to fight in that war and survive it. Because that was a gritty, bad war, too. I mean, all wars are gritty and bad, but that was a really bad one. Did you see the Xbox Direct? I didn't watch the Direct in full, but I saw some of the games in the Direct, yeah. It looked okay. I'm gonna watch more. We were supposed to watch it today, but I'll watch I'll watch it probably tonight. Your uncle's in Nam? Oh man, your uncle was in Nam? Okay, so your family's a bit older. Your parents are a bit older. If your uncle was in Nam, not like grandpa. Grandpa's a vet in that war too. Yeah. How close are we to the first Nintendo Direct of this year? Yeah, Godzilla, we're very close. February or March. If you watch my videos, I discuss the Nintendo Direct stuff in detail, like when those come, like what you should expect and when those come. So yeah, definitely hit the like button, hit the notification, and check out my vids, because we actually talked about it at least 2 or 3 times last week. And even this week too, we talked about when's the Nintendo Direct is coming and all that. So yeah. They always do it in February or March. That's pretty much for the last decade plus, it's been February or March. So. Did you have any thoughts on the Xbox games? Yeah, Beast and Reincarnation looks good. Fable looks okay. Forza Horizon is Forza. So yeah. By the way, is Nigeria a prosperous country right now? No, Nigeria is a terrible country. No. I mean, like, you can go there and have a good time. Like, people do the best with what they have. But the government's terrible. Like, it's bad. It's not a good country. It's not a good country to live in. If you know where you're going, and if you have some money, and if you can maneuver or navigate, it's okay. Like, it's not like the worst thing ever, but I mean, there's much to be desired with Nigeria. Maybe one of these days I'll have the power, influence, and money to change that country, but I just don't. It's not great. But I still love it, but it's not great. Justin with the $3 dono.
Can we check out the Mario Wonder trailer?
Yeah, we can do that for like the last bit here.
The Super Mario Bros. Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Meetup and Bella Bell Park game adds more multiplayer fun to the Flower Kingdom.
Got the dated Mario Tennis Fever Wonder Switch 2.
A variety of multiplayer
Well,
attractions can be found
they
in
dated
Bellabelle
Fever
Park's Attraction
last
Central.
direct. It was already dated the last
Here,
direct, so
you'll find 2 large plazas.
that's not a problem. Mario Bros. Wonder. I mean, yeah, I don't think they
local
take too much time
multiplayer
anyway. Just be
plaza,
like, here's the
you
trailer,
can choose from
here's the date,
17
so
attractions in versus
that's what they did
or
before in the
co-op
past.
play.
If they talk about a game again,
Up
it's
to
just
4 people can
here's a
join the
release date again,
excitement
you
on
know.
the same system.
So I mean, they'll probably talk about it in the
Game
direct. They'll
share
probably
is
just mention
also
it one more
supported.
time, you know.
If one player has
But
the
it won't be a
game,
long
they
trailer,
can share
for sure.
locally with others who don't have it. Game Room Plaza supports local wireless or online play with everyone on separate systems.
Elias doesn't like Mario games.
Up to 12 friends
think
can
FF7
compete,
Remake will do well
each
on
with their
Xbox?
own
No?
screen. 6 attractions can be played this
I
way.
mean, I guess all things considered, maybe, but that looks kind
Whether
of fun.
you're
Like the
teaming up
spaceship
with
stuff, I like
or
that.
working against family and friends, the 2 plazas in Attraction Central host a variety of ways to play.
These mini games look more fun than some of the Mario Party stuff to me, to be honest. But I don't think it's gonna be better than Mario Party, but it looks more fun.
Another explorable area in Bellabelle Park is Camp Central. Here, in the Toad Brigade tent, you can take on training set in courses from the main game.
Collect coins, quick! Let the training begin!
Up to 4 players on a single system can join the challenge and try clearing the objective.
I think if you have multiplayer, it's worth it.
As you progress through the main game, you'll have access to even more training courses. By completing enough training, you'll rise the ranks of the Toad Brigade. Aim to become an elite explorer. Uh-oh. The 7 Koopalings came out of nowhere to steal the treasure of Bellabelle Park. It looks like they each fled to different worlds across the Flower Kingdom. You'll rely on eyewitness reports to track them down.
This is like the new
Oh
kind
my!
of boss battles. Like, shout outs to look how clean this looks though. This is the cleanest looking Rosalina ever. But I think these Koopalings are gonna give us a bit
Well,
better
look who it is!
boss battles throughout like the levels and stuff. So hopefully it's a lot better. But they didn't really show too much of it though.
Rosalina has made a crash landing.
She looks great.
The stars.
This, like I said, this looks like little toys, bro. It looks like a little clean toy set. It's so sharp now.
Oh, wait. With the same abilities as Mario and friends, she can adventure through the Flower Kingdom. She can
4K,
also enjoy the attractions
4K.
in Bellabelle Park, of course.
4K 60.
Plus,
OJ, what's good? Dropping by to the show. Love the stream. Hey, thank you, Potter. Appreciate the 2 brothers.
Rosalina's little friend, Luma, is here to assist. Luma can be selected when you have 2 or more players. You can make them fly around the course and support your pals. Luma won't take damage, but they can spin to defeat enemies and collect coins. Additionally, you can play as Luma using mouse controls, making for a more intuitive experience, so even players less familiar with standard controls can enjoy the adventure. Assist mode is also being added. In the main Super Mario Bros. Wonder game, no matter who you play as, you won't take damage. And if you fall, you'll be saved by a propeller flower instead of losing a life. Whether you're playing for the first time or revisiting the Flower Kingdom, you can enjoy these courses to the fullest using your favorite characters. Super Mario Bros. Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Meetup in Bellabelle Park launches on Nintendo Switch 2 March 26th. Nintendo Switch 2 players who already have Super Mario Bros. Wonder on Nintendo Switch can upgrade to Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Meetup in Bellabelle Park by purchasing the upgrade pack. 3 amiibo figures from Super Mario Bros. Wonder will also be available.
Shout outs to Street Fighter 2V. It's a great song, theme song. So there it is. There is being up in Bella Bell Park. Now, yeah, the goalpost is now shifting though, guys. I had some people send me some stuff. Now it's saying it only barely outsold the Nintendo Switch 2, and now it barely outsold the Switch 2. Barely outsold a 5-year-old system. Y'all want to know how long it took for the PS5 to start selling better than the Switch 1? Bro, the PS5 didn't start selling better than Switch 1 until like 3+ years after the what's it called? The 3+ years after the PS5 came out, compared to like the Switch 1. So it took a hot minute. Oh my god, these people are desperate, man. I'm telling you, these grifters, desperate, completely desperate. Who cares if it barely outsold it or not? The point is this: they're both selling good. These people are brain dead. Like, legitimately, these console warriors are brain dead. They are brain dead, complete morons. How much it sold more is irrelevant. It's the fact that it's selling good. And it still doesn't have that big next-gen Pokemon game. It doesn't have that big next-gen Mario game. It doesn't have that big next-gen Zelda game. It doesn't have that big next-gen, what's it called? Smash Brothers game. It doesn't have that big next-gen Animal Crossing game. It doesn't have that big next-gen Mario Party game. It don't even have its biggest system sellers, like heaviest hitters yet. It doesn't have Luigi's Mansion yet. It doesn't have Nintendo Switch Sports. It doesn't have... There are so many big hitters still left to go. These people are stupid. Like, they're acting so dumb. And when, like I said, the same thing happened with Switch 1, man. It's crazy that people just don't learn from their mistakes. It really is crazy. So, the reason why we do this, guys, is so we can look back and laugh. So I can say, remember how I always say this? I was like, yo, remember Party Man when people did this with Switch 1? We can say the same thing here with Switch 2. Like, we can say this, it's like, oh man, remember when people said all this stupid stuff? Like, we're gonna do the same thing 3 years from now, 3 years from now. We're gonna be doing the same thing that we did with Switch 1, which is hilarious. Like, you know, and Switch 1 got all of it, like a lot of its heaviest hitters at the beginning. Like, it got Mario, it got Zelda early. It got Mario, Zelda, and a port of Mario Kart early. It got a lot of heavy hitters early. Switch 2 still has not got its biggest games yet. Like, it's still like loading when it comes to games. Like, we still need to wait and see. You know? So yeah. In 2022, Switch still outsold the PS5 in the UK, Europe, stronghold. Also, Chris String is British Pactor. The grift is its industrial scale. British Pactor, that's funny. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it took a while before the PS5 overtook, and the Switch was how old? The Switch was, 5 years old, or going like 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20. I mean, it was like 5-6 years old, like, so the fact that people are trying to use that as some type of excuse is absolutely insane, considering, once again, in the holiday period, the PS5 also had a discount. It also had a discount in the US, at least, down to $399 and and all that. So it was even, you can get it for even cheaper than the Switch 2.
I'll meet the grifters behind the school in Bella Bell Park at 3 p.m. and show them what's for.
Shout out Cyber Taurus. Thank you for the big $10 JoJo. Yeah, man. Like, so it's like I said, but it's stupid. Comparing sales like this is so dumb. They're both selling good. They're both selling good. They're both doing well. And once again, I think that like, if you want to go console war, which is stupid, but remember, PS5 did those sales with the big discount, they didn't have that holiday discount last year. There was no big $100 plus discount for the PlayStation 5. I mean, you could maybe see small discounts or bundled packages, but there was no $100 discount. Correct me if I'm wrong, there was no $100 discount plus in many regions like we saw this year. So PS5 was down year on year. It wasn't up, it was down. Like year 4, year 5, this should be some of the best selling years of a system. Year 3, 4, 5, those are the best selling years. The Switch 1 didn't sell 150 million units in its first 1 year. It didn't sell 90% of its install base in the first year or first 2 years. Your best selling years are like 3, 4, 5. In the new age of console markets, your best selling years aren't the beginning. Your best selling years are later, when you actually have some discounts, when you have a bigger library lineup of games, when people maybe have seen it and they've settled in on what they want, they make their decision. That's when systems sell well. Switch 1 sold the best in years 3, 4, 5, like 2020, 2021, 2022. Those were some of the best selling years of the Nintendo Switch 1. So to sit there and act like your best years are just at the very beginning, that's not true. The best years are usually later. Like I said, once you get some new models, once you get some new discounts, once you get a big library of games, that's when you sell your best. So same thing with the PS4. The PS4 sold, and there was stock shortages with the PS5 too. So of course it sold better later on, because they didn't have stock until 2022, 2023. Like, they didn't start having real stock for at least a year and a half or so, like having real stock in all regions. So you're going to sell better afterwards than you're going to sell in the first couple of years, because usually systems are supply constrained. A lot of the best selling systems, they always have supply issues. Switch 2 is like the first system in a very long time where there wasn't really any major supply issues outside of Japan. There wasn't really many big supply issues outside of like the first few weeks, the first month or 2 to 3 months. Yeah, Switch 2 can be hard to get, depending, it would restock it constantly. They'll argue that Switch sold because of COVID. Even then, once again, even if you want to do it right before, the best selling years were still those years. Even if you look at, like I said, lots of systems, the best selling years are not at the very beginning when it's supply strapped. The best selling years are 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably like 3, 4, 5. Those are the best selling years, when you get the best games, you get the best content, you get the best deals, you get the best libraries. Like, that's when systems sell the best. 360 was the same way too. Like, 360 started out and it was okay, but 360 is not one of the best selling systems. But 360 really picked up steam. What years? What years did 360 pick up steam? 2008, 2009, 2010. 2010, it started outselling Wii in the US. It started outselling it. So those were the best years, and that was already 3, 4, 5 years into the life of the 360. Same thing with the PS3. The PS3's best years were not, one, there was some supply issues, and 2, it wasn't selling. So PS3 really started picking up around year 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, it picks up later. So I don't know why people are saying, oh, it barely outsold it, a 5-year-old system. Dude, that's when the systems sell best. Like, systems are not on their way out after 5 years. Not in these new generations. Now, maybe back in the day, yeah. Like, maybe like Nintendo systems back in the day. But like, even PS1's best years were, 1990, 97, 98, 99. PS1. PS1 launched in like 94, 93, 94. So the best years of the PS1 were 3, 4, 5 years afterwards. It wasn't the very beginning. So these people are... Oh my goodness. Alright, yeah, these people are interested. Let's see here. Oh, the music's drowning me out. Sorry. There we go. That's better. PS3 sold well when the revamped, cheaper system started to arrive with a billion different bundles. That's what I'm saying. But then the games started coming in too. So that was, once again, that was not at the beginning. That was in year... PS3 started selling well like in 2008, 2009. The system came out in 2006. So it really started picking up steam 3 years later. And then it really picked up year 3, 4, 5. So year 5 for PS3, that was 2011. So it was still humming. They had the super... Like, I bought a PS3 Slim. PS3 Slims were doing great. People love PS3 Slim. So people were buying PS3 Slims, people were buying, people were buying lots of stuff. And the PS3 lasted from 2006 to 2013. So it had a big chunky lifespan. And it wasn't like it was dead by year 5. Year 5 was 2011. It still had multiple years left. The Last of Us came out in 2013. So, the PS3 was still going by year 5. What games am I playing currently? I'm playing Trails in the Sky, and I'm playing Dynasty Warriors Origins. So yeah. Sorry about that music drowning out my voice. Sorry about that, guys. But all right, we're gonna wrap it up here. I want to say thank you guys so much for coming out to the stream. Thank you guys for being awesome. Thank you guys for being goated. You guys have been, like I said, incredible this whole stream. If you haven't seen my most recent video, check out my most recent video. I appreciate that. I think it's awesome. Like I said, it's great. Appreciate you guys coming out. Appreciate you guys being cool. And big love to all the donos today. Big love to all the peeps that are dropping the support, man. You guys are awesome. Cyber Taurus, thank you so much, man, for the other Big 10. Ending the stream is a stream, Hokage. We'll be back tomorrow. I might be back early tomorrow morning, guys. It just depends on when and all that. So just look out for the videos and look out for the stuff. Justin, thank you for the multiple donos. Potter, appreciate that, guys. Party Man, Cyber Taurus, thank you guys so much. Gloria, Joe 9K, Chrono Rig, Rojo, thank you guys. Dane, shout outs to everybody here, man. Appreciate you guys. You guys are all great, man. Seriously, I love you guys so much. And like I said, we will be back maybe tomorrow. I don't know what time tomorrow though we'll be back, but we will be back tomorrow. I need to go get a haircut, so hope I can trim this little frillo that I have and get a lineup. So yeah. But all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for being awesome. And yeah, we will see you guys for the next one. Bye, everyone.